live on YouTube as well. So welcome everyone on YouTube. We'll see. Let me know how the quality is. I decreased the bitrate slightly from 20K to 15K on YouTube. I'm still streaming at 4K, but that might help with some of the drops my internet was having. I'm going to monitor that today and see how it goes. Let's just share that I'm live on Twitch. And grab the YouTube link. This stream doesn't have the right thumbnail. Wait a minute. Grab the YouTube link. Oops. Let's see if I can adjust that. Can I adjust that while we're live? I made a thumbnail for this. Didn't use it. Fix that. Oh, that's why. The file's too large. Okay. Right. I did use it, but the file was too large, so it didn't update. YouTube files limited to PNG sizes that need to use JPEGs. Need more compression. Export as a JPEG. There. Now the stream is the right thumbnail. So, say hi on YouTube if you're there. Hopefully that updates while the stream is live. I actually don't know if it does. Oh, it looks like it does. Yay. It's good on my channel now. Lovely. I just took a screenshot of a game I watched from yesterday and put it on the thumbnail. Hopefully that works. So I'll just be trying to figure out when we have drafts. They should be starting today. I don't know if these are going to be live or Rex or what's going on, but we hopefully should be figuring that out soon. And hello, Rodrigo on YouTube. Hopefully I tagged Mario correctly in the title on YouTube. I think I did. But welcome everyone. How you doing, Rodrigo? This will also be an experiment to see how the YouTube streams go, as they were consistently getting more and more viewers during Cartographers. But obviously that's the main event's over now. I'll have some community leagues coming up, but we'll see how the YouTube stream viewership does for these other events. So I think it was 561 viewers on YouTube as my peak, which is an insane number. I was not expecting to get that many. I think my peak had been like 200 or something for the Age of Mythology release. So for event casting, which is something very different than I normally do on the YouTube channel, I think that turned out pretty darn well. For the finals between Twitch and YouTube of Cartographers, I think I averaged about 900 viewers and peaked around 1100. So that was pretty good numbers for my channel. And we'll see how interested people are in Medieval Masters going forward. Is that tournament that was kind of not advertised for a while, but it's front and center now. And Luthien Sky on Twitch, hello. And hello, Max Square. Vamos Seba, all good, coming here to support my boy Sebastian. Nice. Chat was borked on your Twitch mobile, so here I am. And the Twitch mobile app, that gives me nightmares now. What did they do to that? I remember like 8 years ago, I used the app and it felt like a normal app. Nothing wrong with it, but now I open it and So I've been really liking the YouTube as a stream option, and I hope to do that more. Maybe if I ever get a very stable internet connection, I just go full broadcasts everywhere: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, OnlyFans, everywhere. TikTok. Get a good vertical format AoE2 live stream. That would be something else. So let's see. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish, so I can't just like spy on Mario's stream to see. Oh, close they are. Yes, game details. Rex for the first set today. Yo MBL will be live, and then Rex for Barles Jordan. First rec will be released in 6 minutes, so we got 6 minutes to kill. And hello HQ. That moment when I see I have exactly the same number of viewers on Twitch and on YouTube, and my mind thinks maybe everyone just has the stream open twice. Hopefully I get the drafts posted. And hello, Major Blazer 420. How are you doing? Where has the drafts already on his channel? They're not posted in the Discord for us. So I'll wait for them to post them. I don't think I can just search on the website to find them. Just got home from work, looking forward to a banger stream like yesterday. I was not expecting to get 600 viewers on my stream yesterday. that came out of nowhere. Well, I guess maybe it just came out of the aftermath of cartographers, but that was a nice boost. Maybe we will be able to continue the momentum. I know some people host tournaments and have good viewerships for the tournaments, and then it kind of falls off a bit afterwards. So hopefully we can get a bit of momentum going forward. I'm still editing my YouTube video about the cartographers maps. Oh yes, we have a map draft. Good morning, roaring moose. What sound do moose make? Do they roar? Okay, we have a draft. Oh, let me get rid of the waiting message. Do they moo? I will heal you 12. Ooh. Hello, hello. Mooses are pretty silent. So let's look at these maps. We'll have Arabia for game number 1, then Nomad and Kawasan as the other 2 maps. Yeah, they moo, hence the name. Oh, that's why they're called a moose, because they moo. That's some good thinking right there. Here's what I liked about the Cartographers tournament. Not all the games devolved into Scout, Archer, and Knight Crossbow meta. Yeah, exactly. I tried to set up the map pool to do that. I think the only question about settings would be if we needed to do something else with the sling. I'm just casting Medieval Masters. I'm just casting. This is Mario's tournament through and through. But I figure people at least will want to see an English cast of it, so I am here. I'm here for that. And Spaz1125, thank you for the follow. Any special rules? No special rules, just standard draft and whatnot. Okay, we have a Civ draft. Lovely. There we are. So, Dravidians, Japanese, Hindustanis, Malay for Liereyy, Italians, Koreans, Maya, Byzantines for Sebastian. Well, Maya probably for Arabia. Other than that, every single Civ is almost a hybrid map Civ. Koreans, I guess, for Nomad for Sebastian. You wouldn't use them on Kawasan. There was a wild moose on the loose in your local town square yesterday. I don't think sling was a problem because it wasn't the default strat. Yeah, it wasn't. Other than Barles and Dogal, they slung every game. Oh, for this new era of YouTube caster. What's the format? The format is it is a group stage, and then the top. It is a 4-player group. The top 2 in each group advance to a 8-player single elimination playoffs. People on this chat up and swap during the ads. Hey, if you want to, you could watch on YouTube and have no ads. Hopefully, a YouTube chat. You have to tell me if you see an ad at any point because I have them turned off, and I really hope that we don't get ads on YouTube. Charles and Dugao underperformed. I mean, they lost to Lix and Yo. I don't think that's underperformance. I would never say losing to Lix and Yo is an underperformance, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe one thing we could do is just not sling until Castle Age at all, or increase the tax even more and rely on coinage to make it viable. Have YouTube Premium, so you don't know. Yes, and I should have on YouTube, if you're interested in the format, I should have linked the Wikipedia page in the description of the video if you want to check that out. Just before watching, no interruptions. Yeah, interesting that you still got an ad. Hadn't seen any ad breaks since Cartographers. Even in the games where the sling was not a good strategy, I think it made for very, very boring games. I see some people don't like the sling. Some people like it because it does different stuff. Felt like the team that won for it won 95% of the time. I think the sling actually had a negative win rate in the tournament. I need to go look at the stats. But a lot of it was teams behind, like fell behind and then tried to sling to get back, because that's the only thing you can do at that point with a player who's behind. And what might make it boring in that respect is that it extends a game that's already over. All right, they should be releasing the rec any moment now. I think probably the only example of sling where I thought, wow, this completely turned a game around was that Golden Lakes game where Doubt lost water and then started slinging. Why is this rec not downloading? Slings are primarily anti-infantry. Okay, download failed. Try that again. Um, okay. This is weird. It's not showing up in my folder. Yeah, sorry, chat for a moment. I'm The wonderful nature of needing to download recs and get them in the rec folder. All right, now we got it. All right, so welcome to Medieval Masters. Again, a tournament hosted by Mario Ovale. I hope I'm saying his name right. Slinging Hair is OP. Well, Hair himself is just OP. Welcome to, as I was saying, Medieval Masters. First map will be Arabia. This will be a play all three between Liereyy and Sebastian. In their group the other day, we saw Nikov winning 2-1 over Dogao. The top two of the group will go to a playoff stage. And we will have Liereyy playing as the green Hindustanis against Sebastian playing as the blue Maya in a matchup where, well, these days it feels like the Maya just need to get to their unique unit. Or, I mean, the Hindustanis just need to get to their unique unit, the Ghulam, and then they just overrun the Maya. And there's nothing they can do. I don't know if I want to trust T90's pronunciations. What's the unique proposition? That's the thing. I don't think there is a unique proposition. I think it's just a pretty standard 1v1 tournament. There is kind of a map pool, somewhat like Warlords, but there are two maps per category. And for the most part, it uses just standard maps from DE. It doesn't have a lot of custom maps. So I guess maybe the uniqueness is being fairly standard. Because, I mean, I guess for the most part, we don't have that many standard tournaments these days. Everyone tries to put their own unique spin on stuff. I do kind of miss King of the Desert. Is this the worst Civ matchup? I mean, Maya is still like a strong enough Civ. Maybe Sebastian could try to overrun Liereyy in Feudal, but that's going to be hard for Liereyy. I mean, the good thing for Lierey's base is a super defensive stone all the way in the back. Can wall from this wood line to the edge, and then that stone is just protected. I mean, could he even Phosphoro build like FC Ghulam? Maybe he could. Ovalle, if I pronounce it Colombian style. Oh, and Dragonborn, hello. Vache, if you pronounce it Argentinian, Uruguayan style. How does Mario himself say it? That's the question. Mario Ovalle. That sounds good because it's two L's, right? I should make that Y sound. I remember the very little Spanish that I know. Viper as most dominant was beating Liereyy 4-3. I mean, Viper is also sweeping Hera. I mean, Liereyy was one of many people who challenged Viper as that number 2 slot over the years. There's been Yo, Jordan, Riot, Liereyy, and even Hera for a while. Viper was still sweeping in hidden cups until, like, what, maybe a year or two ago? So Hera still has to play fairly meta in his tournaments. He's not. I don't think he's quite at the stage of going to a tournament finals and memeing the way Viper used to do. It's hard to make good sling rules. It's something where players should adhere to the spirit of the laws. See, that's the type of thing. I don't want to have any type of like. I want to make sure that when I do a tournament, I want everything that players can do in the game to be allowed. I don't want to have a setup like where we say don't sling until you're imp, and then someone accidentally, forgets for a moment, and they send 200 wood, and then we have an admin loss because someone sent 200 wood that didn't affect the game at all. That's because I've seen that happen in some of the Rage Forest events, and I don't want that to happen during a tournament. I'd rather have something that is very fixed in the game, and players click whatever buttons the game allows them to click. I had to call Doubt to finally win. That's true. I mean, Hera hasn't been winning A-tier events. And back in the day, we didn't have this, like, S-tier, A-tier event classification. So it's not like Viper had the number of S-tier events Hera has right now during his prime for us to go back and retroactively classify events And hello, Lily. Yeah, right. You go through the forum posts of saying, "Oh, tournaments are so boring because Hero wins them." And it's the exact same thing you saw years ago when Viper was winning. I didn't stream Hera versus ACCM. I did not. I did not stream that. I had to go offline before that happened because it was rescheduled. But we are going to have Men-at-Arms from Sebastian, and Sebastian's goal in this game will be to find a way not to let Liereyy get two Gulams. Liereyy will be going for a Scouts opening, so Men-at-Arms have been buffed in recent patches. There is the upgrade, and where is Sebastian going? He sees the barracks and is maybe trying to run around to stay outside of the line of sight. Not many Feudal Sling versus Feudal Sling games in the end. Yeah, I think the downside was Regicide Fortress and seeing the slings there, rather than a real game of everyone just like booming and fighting. Yeah, I have the Rex for Hera ACCM. Maybe I could cast that if people want to see it during sometime this week. So I'm still recovering from cartographers, so I'm gonna be a bit chill with the casting. Like everyone press the like button is too low. Hello, Alpha. And, oh, okay, Men-at-Arms breaking through the walls, but Scouts will be over in time. Vills will run over to fight. And Liereyy pursuing with the villagers. Pursuing with the Vills, and the Scouts will kill all of the Men-at-Arms. Down they go. And, well, those Men-at-Arms, they cause a tiny bit of palisade walling. Don't really accomplish much. Scouts from Liereyy just danced around and cleaned them up. There was no follow-up spear. And now we get to the point where I have no idea how Mayans, or how the Maya now deal with the Gulam. I don't know if plumed archers with their attack bonus could be an option. You need a lot of plumes to be able to shoot them down fast enough. Well, I think T90 announced Regicide Rumble the other day, right? He announced that yesterday, so that's coming up. He has the trailer on his YouTube. That'll be coming up in July. And on the tournament calendar, there is Sudden Disaster. So that'll be coming up this year, too. Moving coinage to Imp. ECL moved coinage to the Castle Age and banking to Imp. That is, I did that in the map scripts back then. That is essentially the inspiration for why it is now Castle Age and Imp in-game. Because originally coinage was in the Feudal Age. And banking was Castle. So the Castle Age sling, if you went for that, was no tax, and the Feudal Age sling was only 20% tax. We definitely did see some slinging in ECL, but I think slinging also depends highly on the maps. And maybe the reason we didn't see it as much in the last version of Carto was just because we had a different map pool. Do Gulams trade cost-effective? Gulams trade very well against Eagles. They trade extremely well against Eagles. And now Sebastian is... I don't know what Sebastian does at this point. He's doing fletching. He's defending behind his walls with the archers. And just Skirm Scout for Liereyy. And he can stay Skirm Scout, eventually go Gulam. Oh, and Bored Bureaucrat, thank you for gifting a sub. Ended up going to Mad Hyena. Thank you very much for the gifty. We're getting close to 400 sub points, which would be a very nice number to hit for this month. We're not going to get the next tier Partner Plus, and I feel like we're going to need a lot of channel growth to hit that. But it's still wonderful to have so much support for the tournament. Is this an A tier tournament? Yes, it is. This is play all three. Play all three. Compression makes it nearly impossible to see. Well, have I got something for you? If you head on over to the YouTube stream, you can watch in 4K with wonderful AV1 encoding. Yep, this is indeed a tournament. Attack bonus of both regular and elite plumes against infantry should increase by 1. And that against spears decreased by 1. That'll make them even more effective against infantry. We do see plumes not all that often, and it would give the Maya maybe a better option even against Goths, right? Because Maya Goths is that very difficult Civ matchup. But I mean, at the same time, plumes actually are still okay against Huskarls, oddly enough, because of that +1. If you get elite plume and it's +2, then they can still take okay fights. It's like if you're in a team game situation, the plumed archer is actually one of the best archer units to have then. And Goths have knights? They do have knights. Even higher sling tax on maps where it might be the default. I mean, that could be an option too. Maybe just be up it to like 60% or 75%. Man, make the feudal sling really punishing. Their castle age on the way for Sebastian, so he will be castle first. He's selling his stone to go up. The question is still, if he's trapped at home in his base, and Liereyy now has started saturating that stone with stone miners, mining more gold too, then how do they actually go forward and do damage if he's still defending? And how does he stop Liereyy from getting a castle in Gulams? Yeah, I'll ask players for feedbacks. I know the players have mixed opinions on that too. And it did give us some really exciting games like that Hamburger 2v2, where we had 2 players imp going for Trebs and Vil fighting on the Trebs. that was crazy. Some archers running around. And now it'll be eagles and archers coming forward. Is it possible to change the tax rate depending on what age you sling to? No, it's not. That is not possible. That could be interesting. I think it could be interesting to do something like the market, where as you sling more and more, it becomes more expensive. So here is Sebastian's chance to try to pressure Liereyy. He's just about up to the castle age, and once he gets up, he'll be clicking all the upgrades he can for his military. And attempting to pressure, Liereyy is a minute away from being up. Crossbow, bodkin, bowsaw. Going for bowsaw rather than eagle upgrades. The skirm for Liereyy will keep track of this. Liereyy may be getting ready to wall, adding in some stone walls, making sure the military will be trapped by the TC. And if you look at his stone count, it's up here in the 1v1. He has the stone to put up a castle, and 15 seconds from now, he could even delete some farms and put it right by the TC. Eldorado Eagles? Well, Eldorado Eagles in the super late game, sure, but that's a long way away. And hello, HRE. What if slinging becomes cheaper as you build more markets? Ooh. Now that's an interesting idea. More markets for cheaper sling. We'd see players stonewalling and building 10 markets in feudal. Or we'd just see Saracens picked and they'd market wall. Yeah, that's true too. Well, if you're Hindustanis against Eagles, you can also go for Chautauqua hand cannoneers in the late game. So hand cannoneer Gulam, and you're probably set. So Liereyy did re-wall, but ooh, that Vil not going to be picked off. One Vil on the farm dies. So Sebastian's still hoovering around the front of the base with crossbows, trying to do damage. With eagles, he's going to try to make another opening. Second TC for Liereyy, but with 2 TCs and a castle, it's going to be hard for Sebastian to find any type of damage here. And now the Glomms can just be amassed. They'll get their armor. And once Liereyy has enough, he'll engage. Or he needs more than this to engage. Let's see, they do have +2 attack against eagles. That shock infantry armor class counts for the eagles. Great job with cartographers, thank you. The crossbow's eagle is going to run out. They counter everything the Maya have. I don't know how Elite Plume does against the Gulam, because remember, Gulams miss the final armor upgrade, so that's +2 they'll miss, and Elite Plumes still have the attack bonus against infantry. So at that point, the Plumes might actually be okay. But I don't know if I've ever seen that. I feel like the Gulams win in the Castle Age before the game gets to that stage, pretty much all the time. I did a job with cartographers. No, they are still bad? Chat saying they're still bad. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know if I'll ever see it. I think Liereyy should just win here. I mean, Sebastian, slightly ahead in Vils, does have his second TC up, doing a university, so he'll have ballistics. The problem here is crossbows with 7 pierce armor are against Gulams, or 7 pierce attack, or against Gulams with 5 pierce armor, so they'll only be doing 2 damage per bolt. And the Eagles should just be wrecked by the Gulams. Gulams have more hit points, they have an attack bonus, they have more base attack. Eagles are not going to be happy in that fight. Speed check, Eagles 1.1, Gulams 1.26. Do we have Squires in already? Yep, we have Squires already. So Eagles will be faster with Squires, and also faster as you upgrade them. Eagle Warriors are faster too. Is it time to go for champs with the Maya? Maya only have 2-handed swordsmen. They do not get champions. So not an option for them. And even then, still hand cannoners for the Hindustanis are a problem. What are the plumed archer? These are crossbows. Oh, that guy? Yeah, the plumed archer. These are the Castle Age plumed archers now. They are questionable at best. Now that they upgraded the graphics. I should probably mod them to be more like normal plumes. The elite plumes are a slightly modified version of the old plume graphic. These guys are... I don't even know what to call them. So plumed archers, the one advantage that plumed archers have is that they have +1 attack versus infantry. So right now, 7 pierce attack +1 against infantry, they will be doing 3 damage to the Gulams. And if the Maya player can amass enough plumes, maybe he'll be okay. And because, well, right now Sebastian's suddenly taking a really large score lead. Significantly more resources collected than Liereyy, who just went straight for that castle. And the castle is a big impact on your economy. You're mining a lot of stone, putting the castle up. And he has the Gulams, but are there too many plumes now to take the fight? 11 plumed archers. And what are the scoutings? Let's just see the scouting. So, okay, a bit more scouting for Liereyy. That's not the entire score. I mean, for Sebastian. Liereyy will be running the Gulams around, seeing if he can hit something else, but that's a new Maya architectured castle protecting this eco. And we have double castle plume production. Imp on the way for Liereyy. Imp on the way for Liereyy, but he will need elite Gulam to benefit from that because he does not have the final armor upgrade. Sebastian farm count is worrying. Sebastian has 19 farmers. Ooh, no, he has 23 farmers. Liereyy has 33. Worrying that he doesn't have enough and will never be imp. Is that what Turs is worried about? He'll take control of units during the recorded game. I don't know about that. If you hit save and then load the recorded game, you actually could control the players afterwards, so maybe that's what you did. I don't know if you can still do that in DE, but I did that for a couple of YouTube videos ages ago. So plumes, forcing the Gulams away. They cleared a lot of the crossbows, but the plumes are faster, harder to catch, and hit a bit harder. It's while you're playing the rec back, you go to the menu, you hit save, and then you load the game that you save, and when you load into it, you control the player. And then there was also the user patch feature where you could do Control Shift and then the function keys, like Control Shift F2 to control player 2. That's not while watching a wreck though, that's just in the game. So plumes are at 1.2 speed. The Gulaams with squires will be able to catch them, they'll be slightly faster. Monks are important here because unlike eagles, the Gulaams do not have conversion resistance. And Sebastian's just going to be microing plumes now. Double castle Gulaam production. Plumes going to run back into the little pond. Or not into the little pond. They're gonna run back to their monks for safety. And they'll have a couple of conversions. Elite Gulaams are OP. Elite is on the way. We'll get to see the new Elite graphic, and more importantly, what changes to their Pierce Armor. Pierce Armor is going to be the important thing for them. I forget if they do get more Pierce Armor. I just remember they don't get the final armor upgrade. Devotion should be prioritized. They need to be devoted. Okay, 5 seconds away. And as that comes in, he wants to take the fight. There's Elite, and yeah, they get an extra Pierce Armor. So 8 Pierce Armor. Plumes have 7 attack. They got a lot of Pierce Armor now, so the plumes will be doing, I think, 1 damage now, just from their bonus damage against infantry. My AoE2 series is rewatchable. Doubt versus Chris, the best of 21, from like 2011 or 2012 thereabouts. That's my go-to. So plumes, not useful until they get Elite. Bracer Chemistry on the way. They need Elite for that +2 attack. Problem with Bracer and Chemistry right now is that's only going to give them 9 attack. And then it's still 8 armor, so they're still doing 1 damage. These upgrades do literally nothing aside give them more range. You know, Eagles with El Dorado. I mean, against an infantry unit with +2 attack against the shock infantry or against the Eagles. I think that plumes, if he gets Elite Plume, are okay, and it's food and wood, so he can click Elite Plume, and I have to thank him for clicking Elite Plume because it'll give us a better unit graphic. Oh, they do 2 damage. You're right, they do 2 damage now. 1 pierce damage and then 1 bonus attack. And Elite Plume will give them an extra bonus attack for 3 damage. And that just might be usable. And I'm not sure if... Other than Gulaam, I don't know how Hindustanis do against plumes. Maybe Shiitake hand cannons could even be useful there. Walled up on the side is Sebastian. Raiding the gold. And Monk's going for conversions. Now Elite Plume is in, and these plumes look more like what we're used to as they hide behind the buildings. They're going to massacre some vills on that gold. Monks want conversions now. Here come the plumes running away. They're a bit different, a bit more player color in their model. Some gold... two-handed swordsman-esque shoulder pads. Look at him go. Killing a lot of the Gulaams. Still fully upgraded skirms and hussars? That's true, that's true. Those are good options. Again, against fully upgraded skirms, though, Mayans do have their own skirmishers. Don't forget about that. Sebastian's not the type of player who would have single-minded avoidance of Mayan skirms. So now the plumes will not melt like they did before. Now they won't melt like they did before. Now they can actually be kind of effective against the Gulaams. Now that they're elite, they will have that +2 against infantry, 9 pierce attack, so they'll be doing 3 damage per arrow. 3 damage per arrow. And working something as a counter, okay, 5 trebuchets. Hello, Sebastian. This castle might not last long. And okay, now the Gulaams might get a dangerous surround on the plumes. They need to use their mobility. They'll hop in and out of the castle. The problem is these are 2 castles that could go down. And if you're going to fight the Gulaams, you need a lot of plumes. This is not enough for Sebastian. Or is it? More Gulaams pushing forward. This castle will go down. Let's see the new destruction animation. Down it goes. New castles, new rubble. And okay, now that's more plumes starting to be amassed. More 40 plumed archers. The AOC full group. Yeah, Trebs is the real kill counter to plumes. take out the castles. Trebs and siege rams. Or Hindustanis have elephants now. They can go siege elephant. Yeah, the siege elephant. Anyway, here are the plumes again. Oh, Galam's having a dance with that villager. She'll survive. And Liereyy just taking out the next castle. Yeah, Sebastian doing everything he can to repair and hold with plumes, but you're not going to repair a castle against 5 trebuchets. That's just too many, even if they're downhill. They don't have siege engineers yet. Nope, they don't, but still effective nevertheless. Oh, good morning, ducks. Hope you made it back safely. Yeah, I have some photos I got to post. I met Ducks over the weekend. He came to our cartographers meetup. We went to medieval times. So Trebs still... Ooh, being afraid of the plumes, Liereyy just doing everything he can to dodge. Plumes holding the hill for Sebastian, who still has 2 castles at home. Remember, longer lasting resources for the Maya, so if the game lasts long, maybe they can hold. I'll be disappointed if it's not a picture of a duck. Let's go onager. They do have siege engineers for their onagers, so that can be effective. Oh, now the Gulams are starting to melt. Yeah, you've gotten to elite plume, and it's going to be elite plume plus heavy scorpion. Heavy scorpion for the Maya. The Maya do not have siege engineers. No, they don't. So heavy scorpion. I've seen like Maya players try to go heavy scorpion versus Goths, and I feel like it never works. I feel like not going to work against Gulams all that well either. I think it's just going to have to be plumes. Oh, maybe scorpion plus plume. And that's a lot of scorpions queued up at one workshop. For Sebastian, he'll even them out a bit. The duck uses a human remote-controlled body. Eagles hitting the houses, hitting the outpost. And we'll have heavy plow on the way for Sebastian. Don't Scorps do +1 versus infantry? Do they? I mean, Scorps have a lot of pierce attack. They're just fragile. It's +2 versus infantry for heavy scorpion. So, I mean, they do a lot of damage to the Glom's. They're just fragile. Is it 9-vil start? Nope, it's a 3-vil start. Standard 3-vil start. Oh, there's a monk over there. Hello, monk. The monk could convert a vil, and the vil could do like a barracks, and the eagles could raid. So we have arson. He does have arson, yes. He doesn't have... Oh, well, he does now have blast furnace. So fully upgraded Gulams. Trying to secure the neutral golds. Doing a castle to the north. What's this castle? Securing wood? Is Liereyy fighting for a wood game? Well, what are those trebs doing? Liereyy trying to hide his trebs in the corner. Will he hide them there successfully? It's like running your fish on Nomad. Will Sebastian spot them? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Oh, Lierey's gonna lose 4 trebs. Oh, they're packed. They still take 1 damage from the plumes, I think. He will lose at least 1 treb. However, he did lure the plumes out of position. Maybe the Gulams can get us around and take a fight. There are only 25 plumes here. That will make it harder for them to pick off the Gulams in time, but not that many Gulams either. Sebastian's gonna have to micro a couple of different groups of plumes. Could he snipe the Vils and stop the castle? He's not going to go for it. Too many Gulams. Just wants to keep the plumes alive. He has 60 plumes right now, and these here are 14 of them. They are starting to melt. If the Gulams catch them out of position, they do melt. But more plumes running around. Now the plumes will catch the Gulams out here. And oh no, the Trebs going back to that same area. Run them to the castle, maybe. Time for Liereyy to lose more Trebs. Sebastian going for another castle in the middle. So is this the new meta? Is this Maya versus Hindustanis a win for the Maya again? Is it plumed archers for the win? Should we go back to AOC? We just had a sling tournament. Should we be slinging the Maya again? I don't know why the castle is all the way out there for Liereyy. Maybe he just wants it in a safe spot for Gulam production. Not like it controls a gold. Yeah, Liereyy is super young. He gets younger every year. Years ago when I first met him, he was 16, and I think he's 14 now. So some Gulams going down to Plumes. Ooh, okay, the Vill's dying here. I mean, good Vil numbers for Liereyy, but the army's not there. Sebastian's at 200 pop, and he's pushing 200 pop, and maybe he needs to turn some of that 200 pop into siege. He needs some trebuchets to push these castles. And now Lierey's struggling for gold. No gold, he's not going to be able to make Gulams. And maybe Liereyy is just now suffering from a single-minded avoidance of Hindustani skirmishers against the Maya Plumes. Hills go down. And Scorpions are not going to destroy the castles. I think I'm safe to say that. Scorpions and Plumes are not the units for taking out castles. And I mean, 130 Vils is a lot for the Maya. He could probably get away with deleting some of them. And with the longer lasting resources, he still has an extra gold. Are you getting some fiber today with the Plumes? I wish I could get some fiber for my internet. Also, we have 600 people watching between Twitch and YouTube. This is amazing. Sebastian also, he also has 4 relics. It's true, he has the relic timer. Or he has the relic lead over time. And Sullified, thank you very much for the raid. And yeah, Liereyy, he's not even able to take this gold here just because of all the Plumes. He sends Vils there. We've seen Sebastian constantly killing Vils on it. Look at the KD. Lierey's still ahead in the KD, but the Maya have such a nice eco. The units are so cheap. That doesn't matter. Oh, someone wanted Hindustani onagers. And, well, onager Hussar now. Liereyy, he's not out of the game yet. Making a unit composition swap. That will keep the heavy Scorpions away. And also scare the Plumes. Now maybe the Maya player needs some Halbs to complement the Plumes against the Hussars. El Dorado Eagles on the way. Well, that could help against the Onagers. Some barracks going up. Some desperation barracks. The Onagers shot on the Plumes, on the Scorpions. And this is what Liereyy wanted. Well, there go the Plume numbers. There goes the 200 pop that Sebastian was at. Now Lierey's starting to snowball with Gulam numbers. Rip the Scorpions, rip the Plumes, and now he's trying to make Eagles, but Gulams are still out there to fight the Eagles. He's doing upgrades, he's doing Elite Eagle Warrior. Plumes are still running about trying to snipe off Hussars. And that was without Siege Engineers. Well, now he has it. It's just +1 range though, that only matters against buildings, not like he gives him more attack. The range is nice. And now, well, Sebastian, even after that, still has the score lead. They'd managed to clean up underneath the castles, clean up the army. And the thing about plumed archers is you never kill all the plumes. Castles would just keep pumping more and more. And Redaborn, thank you for the follow. So, plumes sniping off the Vils. Hussars going down. Yeah, losing Vils might have been good for Sebastian there. Now he has more army space. Plumes and Eagles. Still would probably like to see him prep the Halb upgrade, just because of all the Hussars that are out. I mean, Hussars themselves are fine for fighting Eagles. I mean, 1v1 I think the Elite Eagle still wins, but you're fine trading a food unit. And Canadier are also an option against the Eagles. And Markov, thank you for the follow. Did I read the YouTube comments? I do read the YouTube comments. Chat isn't quite as active there as it is on Twitch, so I might miss them here and there, but I do read both chats. I still need to work on overlays and combining chats and making it easier for me to read both. Can't Maya go Halb now? Or that invites the Skirm counterplay? I mean, both of that's true. It also invites potential hand cannon counterplay. Lierey's still struggling for gold. Those are Hussars by the gold, not villagers. Blast Furnace on the way, and still significantly more relic gold. 4-1 relic in favor of Sebastian's. And 54 Hussars. Now you definitely want the Halb tech researched. Maybe some more walls going up just to limit the Hussar mobility. They're gold in the south? Nope, that's just a patch of dirt. That's what you're looking at. Don't see any other golds potentially in the south. Just this gold and the other one by Lierey's castle. So Blast Furnace on the way for Sebastian as the Hussars come to raid. And this is where it's useful to have Halbs and maybe a couple barracks in your eco, just so you can spread them out and kill Hussar raids over time. He got Halb, but he doesn't have any barracks at home to produce them. All the barracks are a bit more forward. Yeah, there's Halb now. Adding them to the fight. And there we go, that's what he wants against the Hussars, some Halbs. 24 Halb now. And those Eagle barracks now become Halb barracks. No, Trebs is crazy. Yes. Oh, look at that, Duck's modding the chat, so I don't gotta alt-tab and mod. So now the Halbs are there. Now the Halbs can protect. Oh, there's still some stone down there. Gulam's guarding it. But, I mean, stone there, 350. That's another castle for the Maya if Sebastian can get to that. Onager shots on the plumes. Okay, landing a couple hits. Landing a couple hits on the plumes. Don't think Sebastian has the numbers here. We might just see huge Hussar raids now from Liereyy. Middle KD. KD's still in favor of Liereyy. Halbs in the south trying to raid with a few eagles. And good castle defense from Liereyy. The line of castles across the map doesn't really give Sebastian a spot to get in and raid. And without Hussars himself, it is hard for the Maya to raid at this point now that the gold is starting to run low. And if it does go to a wood game, you do have to keep in mind the Maya do have longer lasting resources, so their wood will last longer. These guys can go heavy scorpions. Heavy scorpions, I feel like Eagle Warriors still are good against heavy scorpions. Decent pierce armor, they're mobile enough to close the distance. But this is a really good game of Arabia. Earlier today, someone told me they thought Arabia was boring. I don't know about that. And some rewalling from Sebastian. The last thing he wants is a horde of Hussars pouring in through his walls into his base. Halb's much less raiding potential. Chemistry on the way for Liereyy. That could be Bombard Cannon. Is missing there. We're getting a nice shot near the Halbs. Hello, Dark Noob. Becomes fun when they're fully walled like Arena. When they fully do the do-it-yourself Arena. Liereyy is now 12, so it's finally legal for him to consume alcohol in Germany as long as his parents are around. Yeah, Liereyy, he's getting younger as the game goes on. Started the game at 16, now he's 12. So Siege Ram on the way for Sebastian. We're about to see some plumes with Siege Rams. What year is this? And mixing some building killing Siege? Or which player? This looks like Liereyy is going to be doing that. Have Thumbring and leather archer armor on the way. Baskets, hello baskets. Well, we no longer have avoidance of Hindustani skirmishers. Hindustani skirmishers on the way. And the benefit of being the Hindustanis is that you do have all three trash unit lines. They no longer have Halbs, if I recall correctly. Yeah, no more Halb. They do at least have Hussar Skirm, both of which can be fully upgraded. So Ram push now, Halb's inside the Rams. Ram's going for the castle. And if Sebastian can take out that castle, he actually can secure the gold. As the Maya, that's a really good amount of gold still left. Tech tree percentage for Sebastian. I want the percentage. I can open this and you can look at it. Hasn't done Onager, hasn't docked a pond or done the dock upgrades. Still needs some monastery upgrades. Needs treadmill crane. Treadmill crane actually. And sappers. Those are eco upgrades. You fall the trees in one hit from sappers and you reseed your farms faster. With treadmill crane. Yeah, if this was RBW1, he'd definitely be clicking the dock text for the score. Imagine that. Someone wins an Empire Wars game just because they're lucky enough to have a pond and can research the dock text for the score lead. It feels like he had more army and more resources. Well, that's what it's like to play the Maya, right? You have more army, it's so cheap, you have more resources with how everything lasts longer. You start out with more in the Dark Age because your boar lasts longer. And that just kind of continues. You delay your farms a bit and the sheep lasting longer. And here finally is that building destroying siege that you wanted in the chat. As the blacksmith will go down, and they're going to make another push towards the castle. Hussars may be able to take out some rams. No more halbs here for the moment, or very few halbs for the moment at least. Let's take out some hussars, and the halbs come forward. Hussars will go down as the plumes take them down. Alright, that's a good hold on the hill from Sebastian. KD going heavily in Sebastian's favor. And Liereyy will call the GG. He will call it. He's not going to try to hold out and play a super long game for a wood game. He will call the GG. And Sebastian, with the Maya, takes down the Hindustanis. With plumed archers, is able to deal with the Gulams. Someone in chat saying they thought that elite plumes would do horribly versus the elite Gulams, but actually it's pretty darn good. And I've seen this in the late game Maya Goths where they can kind of deal with Huskarls. It's more everything else that the Goths do. That's the problem. But here, Sebastian with that economy holds on, and very well played from him. I thought it was looking really bad at the start when he lost his men-at-arms for basically nothing and was trapped in his base just defending for a while, but Liereyy going for the castle in the early Gulams didn't get the same economy that Sebastian did. Sebastian was able to hold just enough and get to plumes. So GG. Almost, I mean, we have 700 people watching the streams. Man, thank you all. So again, my apologies to the people on Twitch, but I will be trying to play the ad between the games so we don't have them during the games. So I will do that real quick. And then if you're on YouTube, hopefully you don't get an ad. Because YouTube is wonderful. Only way to get more views is to look at the handbook. Yeah, yesterday we read the handbook and gained 100 viewers. And thank you very much, Minotaur236 for the follow. And I have a scoreboard to update. That will be a 1-0 lead for Sebastian. And as far as maps go, wait a minute. Oh, wait. I was updating my wrong scoreboard. There we go. As far as maps go, that's a win on Arabia for Sebastian. I'll put the 2 because he's on the right. And for Civs, that is the Maya winning over the Hindustanis. Lovely. And game number 2, we have the wreck. Put that in my save game folder. Let me grab some water and stay hydrated between the games. And I realize my water's in the other room. I'll be back in 1 minute and then we'll get the next game. Alright, water is obtained. Who is ready for game number 2? And hello, Tundra Blitz. And it will be Nomad. Map shall be Nomad. And here we are. Welcome everyone on Twitch and on YouTube. Sebastian indeed is pretty good these days. And now Liereyy will be in the yellow. He swapped colors to yellow this game. Liereyy changes his colors all the time. Here I understand the inside working of unit classes, not armor classes. I know there's a lot of hard-coded stuff in the game that relates to unit classes. I've occasionally swapped stuff around, but never really dug into it. Mihai and Viper would be mad. I mean, the most confused my chat had ever been was that time I casted Mihai versus Viper and Mihai was yellow. So this is DE's current Nomad. Their docks will be very close to each other. Very, very close to each other. Did I make the data mod for Mangrove Shallows Cup? I did. That wasn't a data mod though. That was all done in the map scripts. That was done just by changing the attack classes and armor classes of ships. Sebastian is really talented, showed it a few years ago, and now he's proving that he's capable of fighting with the best. He won what I think was the most impressive tournament of the year last year, the Sax Arabia tournament. I know we had like more highly prize pooled events like Red Bull, but just the standard Arabia tournament, I think that's honestly the most prestigious of all the events last year. And so Sebastian, he needs a bit more consistency, but he's definitely demonstrated a really high level of play. And he needs to remember that he didn't finish his house. Sebastian, don't be housed, Sebastian. 4 out of 5. Finish your house. Oh no, Sebastian, I'm trying to praise you. I'm trying to praise you. Finish your house. Sax managed to make Arabia only fun. Arabia only is a lot of fun. Now, while we're in the Dark Age, maybe a question for the people on YouTube: how has the quality of the stream been in 4K? So I did decrease my bitrate slightly, from 20K to 15K. I'm hoping that maybe the lower bitrate will avoid the internet drops I had occasionally been having. So I don't know how much that affects the video quality though. Yeah, the Caster's Curse. How was the Carto meetup? Oh, it was lovely. We went to medieval times. Ray, at first, he was very skeptical of it, but then he ended up loving it. 4K on YouTube? Yes, hello, Hagbrother. Morning, everyone. So, Nomad start Koreans, Dravidians. Dravidians have the smoother start with the dock where they don't need a house. They don't need to rush up a house as quickly as Sebastian had to do here. Koreans, extra line of sight on the vills, and they mine their stone faster. They have great guard towers and war wagons. So other than the starting economy, I think Koreans probably are the better civ. I actually don't know which civ I'd prefer in a 1v1. Dravidians are great, but I think they have more utility in the team game when you're giving that bonus to multiple players and stacking it with other good Nomad civs. Like Koreans more here, but Liereyy is Liereyy. Liereyy is Liereyy, but I mean Sebastian is Sebastian. 160p. Yep. The resolution is the same. The resolution is the same, but the bit rate feeding the video to the resolution is slightly lower. So it'll be a slightly less high quality 4K, but still 4K. What do I think about Woo on Nomad? Food bonus is nice, plus the fire archers melt TCs. We did see them at one point in cartographers used on Nomad, and they seemed pretty strong. So I think that they probably do have a place on Nomad. Haven't seen enough of them to know how they compete with some of the older and more well-established Nomad civs. But I think, yeah, you definitely are onto something. A nice team game save for sure. The house bonus adds up with 4 players. Some more trees being chopped. Lumber camp there for Liereyy. And loom on the way also for Liereyy. Sometimes you do skip loom on Nomad. And just because there are no scouts to pick off your villas, but he's going to opt to do it. Did Sebastian do loom? He did not do loom, so Sebastian's skipping loom. Sometimes loom does let you go up a bit faster because you're spending gold instead of food. And the faster up times might be what they're aiming for in the water fight. Now, one thing we're definitely not going to see are turtle ships, because they are nerfed into the ground and no longer useful against fires like they used to be. They're slightly better against galleys, but that's... You probably just go galley versus galley if you're Koreans anyway with the discount. Dravidians will get 200 wood upon hitting the next stage. Koreans, of course, have the wood discount 20% that applies to their ships. Only wood, not gold. Well, AOC Vikings were minus 20% wood and gold. Koreans, though, they lack demos. When players are this close, maybe it's tempting for Liereyy to open with fires. But on Nomad, when you can run the fish for such a long distance, and there's another dock in the back for Sebastian, I think that galleys probably are just the way to go. Yeah, some F's in the chat for the turtle ships. Oh, the turtles were actually finding a niche where they were useful, that early Castle Age fire ship counter. But now, oh, they ruined them. Let me check my Discord pings. There we go. All I want is Skirm Wars. Ooh, I think you're in the right game for that. Maybe Nomad's not the right map for Skirm Wars. The turtle changed. They removed the fun part of the unit and made it die horribly versus fires. Yep. And thank you for the raid. The Nagraj, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the raid and for all the support. And thank you also everyone watching for the support. I was not expecting viewer numbers to be maintained this well after Cartographers, but thank you all for being here. So deer being hunted by Sebastian. Hope you have a good stream. Thank you. And fletching on the way for Liereyy. On the water, it will be galleys for Liereyy, also galleys for Sebastian. And in the long run, I think this will favor Koreans. Imagine if we end up seeing turtle ships versus Therisidae. Now that would be something else. And Kodo Kano, thank you for the follow. And it is indeed Liereyy versus Sebastian. Did I say another player's name by accident? I mean, Lierey's in the yellow. I might call him Viper now and then. Therisidae should win? I have no idea. I have not seen that unit composition. Because the buffs for the turtle ships should help them against Therisidae, right? Kind of like it helps them against galleys. Turtle ships win? Yeah, I thought turtles would win. Although the real question isn't does turtle ships win that? The question is do Koreans win that even harder if they just go fires and galleons with how insane their discount is with shipwright? I'd guess the answer is probably yes to go with their standard ships instead of turtles. What a weekend. Varian's in the chat too. Hello, Varian. Hope you made it home safely. So galleys will run back and forth, try to snipe each other off. And Tazaril, thank you for the follow. So still just galley fighting. On the land, Liereyy just walling up, taking some hunt. Mill will be nice on the deer for getting to the castle age faster. Sebastian gonna be milling the berries, a bit more exposed. Not quite as fast. But no one attacking each other. Liereyy actually has that dock Vil. Has Sebastian seen that dock? Ooh, he hasn't. Could maybe do some shenanigans to fight that Vil. Still, it's all about the galley micro on the water, and I do still feel like Koreans have a slight advantage there. Although, maybe the uptiming to Castle Age is really the determining factor. Will I be going to any of the lands this year? Yes, I will. There's a TBA LAN in December on the calendar. I will be going to that one. It's beautiful in 4K. You enjoyed the YouTube 4K? So, Liereyy micros with ships. Liereyy micros with everything, and he clicks up. 65-inch 4K TV. Oh, lovely. I guess there are 8K TVs now. I don't think it's possible to live stream at that resolution, but I guess some like TV shows must be recorded in 8K format. I saw some of them when I was at the Best Buy picking up my new router the other week. Yeah, there's probably like a lack of 8K content. You're future-proofing if you buy one of those TVs right now. In pressure, I know I probably should have sung karaoke. I need to practice for my role in the musical. So, Sebastian up, and he's less than a minute slower than Liereyy, 50 seconds slower, so 2 Vils timing. But that can matter a lot in Galley Wars, and he's going to have to run pretty far across the map. So here is Liereyy thinking, you know what, I'm up first, and I maybe don't want to take a big fight before I get my upgrades. And right now, keep an eye on the numbers, 22 to 18. And this is where Sebastian, if he micros well, should take a good fight. And he wants to take that fight before Liereyy gets the upgrades, or at the very least, he wants to take the fight to force Liereyy to run while doing the upgrades to give himself then time to get the upgrades. And Ocean, hello Ocean. Another land without Ornlu. I met Ornlu at a land before. I met him at the ECL years ago. So Bodkin Arrow Bosaw on the way for Liereyy. Huey 2 and 8K. Imagine how zoomed out that would be. I don't know if any of you have actually tried this, but I have used NVIDIA Dynamics Super Resolution to put AOE2 on 5120 by 2880. And if you use the normal graphics, not the enhanced graphics, but the normal graphics, and you use that resolution, like large parts of the map are just black because the game doesn't handle rendering that much. So DE is not ready for 8K. Expanded across 3 monitors before. Yeah, there's you can definitely do multi-monitor support and see more like left to right, but I think there is like up and down resolution where it starts to have issues. So, Liereyy with that Castle Age timing advantage is just winning the water and taking out the docks. Sebastian decided he didn't want to lose his navy, so he's running and sailing around. But Liereyy should be aware of that, and already he's moving the fishing ships, knowing that Sebastian's ships had to have run around the outside of the island. Oh, and meanwhile, something's happening on land. Something's happening on land now. Sebastian is up. The Koreans, remember when they had extra range siege onagers? They don't even have the onager line anymore. They have rocket carts. And they're basically like mangonels, but different. Okay, rocket cart versus mangonel. Let's go. Who wins? No one wins, he misses. And the mangonel misses. Ooh, gets splattered by the rocket cart. That'll be repaired. Rocket carts, of course, easier to micro because they're cooler and you pay more attention to them. That's what Turs has taught me, at least. Not able to hit the monk, though. Lils go down. I hope I will play in a tournament someday. I've played in tournaments before. I'm not at the level of these players, though. So, and as a reminder, if you're watching for cartographers, this right now is not my tournament. This is Mario's tournament, the Medieval Masters. This is the last tournament of the current fiscal year for World's Edge that they're sponsoring. And that TC under pressure from Liereyy. So Sebastian, I feel like he's lost water. And that is maybe what the score is reflecting. He hasn't lost his navy, but he's lost water control due to losing all of his docks. But now he's got a lot of map control because of all of these guard towers. And it becomes very difficult to use mangonels in the presence of guard towers. While mangonels do well against watchtowers, guard towers usually counter them. You can maybe garrison the guard towers with vills if you're Sebastian, and then shoot down the mangonels easily. What does World's Edge gain by sponsoring AoE 2 tournaments? Presumably sales of the game, because, you know, AoE 2 is not a constant same people playing it every day. There are people finding the game, buying it, and people leaving, so you kind of reach an equilibrium of coming and going, and that's where the player number comes from. So they did also increase the price of the game from $20 to $35. So that's what they gain. They're still wringing money out of people from this game from 1999. So, monastery going down. And relic pops out. Dravidians have redemption. Was there a water battle? Looks like there was, and we lost a few ships for Liereyy. But water doesn't really matter at this point. Yeah, so Sebastian losing some of his navy. Liereyy now really winning on the water. But that is kind of deceptive in his score. What really matters is the fact that he's being pushed on land by these mangonels. And now when he gets back to the corner, he has 1 stone and 1 gold. He has 1 stone and 1 gold. And mangonel hitting the outpost, but if Sebastian can continue pushing this way, he can do some damage. But he needs to continue pushing as Lierey's opening up a pretty big villager lead. 73 villas to 63. And again, no fish for Sebastian. Maybe he can find more of the fishing ships from Liereyy and snipe them off if he keeps running around. But Lierey's kind of running out of fish anyway. You can see on the minimap, this part of the map is no more fish left. And Dravidians, they do not have redemption, no. So neither of these civs has redemption, no converting of mangonels or rocket carts. And there is Imp, Liereyy up to the Imperial Age. He's losing his market almost. Ooh, he'll repair the market just in time. Rockets on the mangonel. And castle will go up for Liereyy. Skirm's OP. Well, we're going to see Dravidian Skirms right now. Price of AV2 was around $50 in 1999. In 1999, yes. This is best of 5. This is play all 3. This is play all 3. I give one advice to people doing AW2 content. Honestly, I have no idea. I think I'm kind of was in a unique situation because I did a lot of. I was already pretty known in the community before I started out. Everyone will have different skill set. Whether some people might be really good at editing videos and could do like some more edited stuff, kind of like Taramis does. The Imperial Age on the way for Sebastian. Yeah, I still have my box. I wonder if the box has a price sticker on it for me. Ooh, will this be a doubt castle? Feels like a doubt castle. Feels like Lierey's eco lead. Yeah, I mean, Sebastian's evened it up in villagers, but res collected, he's up by 4.5k. And just while he was being pushed, Sebastian doing all that pushing on the land, Liereyy just calmly fell back, added an eco, and had just enough gold and stone in his base that he could make it up to the next stage. He'll be doing guild nets, and he also has all of the water control. He's even doing a market on the other side. He lost his first market. Why not do it over here in the middle of nowhere? Sebastian will never think to look there to knock it down. Now the Trebs have a wonderful hill advantage, and maybe we'll get to see the new destruction animation of the Korean castle. Are they supporting modding and map scripting? I feel like overall modding has taken a step backwards from the Steam Workshop support. And their map scripting is, they've added a lot of new stuff, but there is a lot of stuff holding it back that I feel wouldn't be hard to fix on their end. Well, I don't know if they ever will make the effort. There's so many AOK CDs from Serial Boxes. Baskets does. So Imp for Sebastian, he's still not out of the game, but he's got to be hoping that the score difference just comes from water, and that on land he still will be competitive. Koreans, he does have keeps. Koreans have the discounted skirms, so how that compares to the faster throwing Dravidian skirms, I don't know. We could just see Sebastian pump out a bunch of skirms and try to take a fight. I mean, we talked about skirm wars earlier. Maybe this will be another map where we see them. Arumi swordsmen coming forward. They use their swords on the rocket carts. 14 hours downloading the AOC demo. Should one prioritize heavy rocket carts or rocketry? Well, you don't have rocketry here with the Koreans. If you mean the +1 range, I'd imagine heavy rocket cart is the better upgrade. And the skirms from Liereyy, as this Treb will go down to another rocket cart, but he starts to get cannons out. Skirms are raiding the farms of Sebastian, it looks like. And I guess maybe that's one way to counter keeps. Have a unit with enough pierce armor that you can keep on attacking, despite the arrow fire of the keep. And now, if you look at the map, there's yellow pretty much everywhere in Sebastian's eco, and here he's going to start falling apart. And I think this is going to be a 1-to-1 for Liereyy. So, slight uptime advantage to the Castle Age for Liereyy gives him a massive advantage in winning the water. And on the land, Sebastian went for a push, but Liereyy was able to boom and survive behind it. And now he can thrive with skirmishers killing villagers and Trebs besieging TCs. There's the GG from Sebastian. Liereyy ties it up 1-1. And we'll head to a game number 3 to decide who wins this set of the round robin. It is play all 3. So GG's, that's an extra 10,000 almost res collected for Liereyy. And a tiny difference in castle age timing. Big difference on the water. Okay. We're moving forward for the payment process for cartographers. Yay. Update available for the browser I'm using. Download the Rex. Alright, let me just... On Twitch, I'll do a quick ad between. And then we'll get to the next game. Update the scoreboard. So many buttons to press. There we go. Score 1-1. Maps. Liereyy winning Nomad. And winning with the very first picture Vidians over the Koreans. And the final map will be Kawasan. That will be the home map of Sebastian. I just heard the Windows update sound. I'm updating my browser. Updating Firefox. Alright. Byzantines, Japanese will be the civs on Kawasan. And here we go. And make sure I can see both of my chats. So welcome in everyone, the over 700 people we have on Twitch and on YouTube, to game number 3. We'll have Sebastian in the blue, playing as the Byzantines. He'll be to the northwest, playing against Liereyy to the southeast, playing as the red Japanese. The map will be Kawasan. It is a standard 3-villager start. So what difference does that make compared to, say, the 9-vill start we've seen on this map recently? Is one, well, I guess you can hunt your boar super early if you want to go for a fast uptime. But more importantly, you have more time to scout, and you have more time before you have to send a vill to build the dock. And yeah, the pawns usually are just about the same spot, but you now can move your scout and have more options to determine where is your opponent docking. Do you want to dock in the same pond or in a different pond? Why does nobody take Franks or Portuguese on the map? You do see Portuguese sometimes. Franks just really aren't a great water civ. You're not really getting any benefit from the Franks early on the water. You could see them in the late game. But I think the hybrid map civs are usually the priorities. And bloodless chat, hello. So, now, I don't know if players pick up on this, but the map itself has 2 different types of woodlines. There are the bamboo trees and the pine trees. The pine tree woodlines are thicker, so you might actually just want to go for a pine tree woodline for your lumber camp. Maybe this one's a bit closer, but it's also a smaller one. The bamboo woodlines are much smaller. More infrequent, too. Yeah, I mean, he's asking about the berry bonus, but that's not the consequential part of the map. The consequential part is winning the water early on. So dock going up for Liereyy. He will start to wall in the villager. Or attacking the vill as the vill is lured into the TC. Byzantines. You think Byzantines too strong here. So the bonus of the Japanese, their lumber camps and their mills and mining camps cost minus 50 wood. Or they cost 50 wood. They have a 50 wood discount from 100 to 50. There we go. So we can add them in, add in houses across the front. And we'll have a dock with more fishing ships coming in for Liereyy. And a dock also coming in for Sebastian. Is it me, or do the relics and ponds seem closest to Sebastian? The relics to me seem a bit closer to Liereyy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of them here closer to Sebastian. The ponds... I don't think the pond distance matters as much on a 3v3, even if it does on a 9-ville start. I think as long as you get a dock there, you're fine. And Scarface Ginger 11, thank you for the follow. Yeah, the 50% wood discount, reducing cost by 50 to 50. Exactly. The Byzantines, well, they have faster shooting fire ships. And that's honestly all the bonus they need. You don't have room to make galleys and run on these tiny, tiny lakes, these tiny, tiny ponds. So it's fires all the way. Maybe some demos. Sebastian do loom. Yes, he just clicked loom right now. Yeah, that's a good point. You can always check the resources to see whether they do loom in a 1v1. Unless, of course, they're mining gold, but that is a bit rarer. You could do some type of forward barracks on this map, and that is something the Japanese could be decent at. Forward barracks for men-at-arms. Don't see that happening, though. Just see play to move out villagers to the woodlines, and Liereyy will be fighting on the water. Let's check this one. There are 2 types of fish here, and there are 8 fish. Usually it's 8 fish for 1,800 total food. And let's just see this here. They fished a bit, but yeah, the same thing, 8 fish. And then some box turtles / shorefish around the sides. So Sebastian will scout that Liereyy is going for the double dock, and we'll be going for fires to fight over the pond. Use their men-at-arms on docks. You're not going to destroy the dock fast enough to be useful. They have 1,800 HP normally, a bit more for the Byzantines. The only thing you'd see would be men-at-arms trying to attack the dock villager, but they're too slow to get out there to stop the initial dock, and as long as the villas are walled in, they're safe. You can see scouts attacking villas, but this is a very low HP scout for Liereyy. You're going to see Sebastian attacking the scout with a villa, or at least attempting to. Is that fresh or salt water? That is a good question, Racecar driver on YouTube. Fresh or salt water? I would guess fresh water with how small they are, but I do not actually know where Kawasan is. Maybe there's a certain type of water in Kawasan that's special. And yes, the scout was over there. He does see the second dock. And a demo raft immediately for Sebastian, so he's not going to fight over here. He's just going to do a demo. Demos don't destroy Japanese fishing ships. Did Sebastian forget what civs they're using? That is a very curious play. That feels like it's just going to be a waste of resources. So his attempt was to dock one side and then go to the other side. But fires will come out here for Liereyy too, and Sebastian's not prepared to deal with that. So yeah, demo ships would destroy fishing ships from any civ other than the Japanese, but the demolition rafts do not do enough damage to take out that 120 hit points. Now this is one of those things that you look back on and you say, what the heck is the Japanese fishing ship bonus? Why 120 HP is ridiculous compared to other civs, but that's what it is. Box turtles live in freshwater, as do salmon. What about Dorado? Don't know about Dorado. Here goes the demo. And yeah, not enough. So fire galley will come out for Sebastian on this side. This is medieval masters. Yes, not AOC classic. No, this is medieval masters. So fishing ship's going down. Fire is turning around to fight. And he's trying to block. Doesn't block in time. And Liereyy now has won both ponds. El Dorado? No, not El Dorado. The fish Dorado. Not the unique tech or the map. Dorado are common in the Caribbean. So dock here being fired down. And we'll see, this is the... Oh, are there going to be apples that fall somewhere? Yeah. Yeah, they kind of bounce on the water in there. I like seeing how the fruit bounces when the docks are destroyed. So still a forward build from Sebastian. Both players looking to wall themselves up. A bit of an easier wall for Liereyy with his wood lines. Sebastian would have a big area on the left to wall, but he could wall that. Nothing really stopping him from that. Varian is a bouncing fruit enjoyer, it would seem. So, Castle Age on the way for Liereyy. And Guten Tag, Langsander. So many streams. So more fires taking out the dock. And hello, zoom out. Speaking German? Yeah. I used to live in Berlin. I can get around. At the garrison, my train was canceled, but I could navigate the signs to go to another train station and take a train. So I could figure that out. And so padded archer armor for Liereyy. Pletching on the way for Sebastian. An honorary German citizen. If only Twitch chat saying that to me meant I then could officially live in any Schengen area country. So archers will fend Liereyy off of that wood line for now, but he has another wood line on the other side. Scrim's coming in. I spent a semester at the Free University. Yeah, if he's, Berlin is mostly in English. That's fair. And Pikvi, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Twitch stream. So Skirm's taking down the archers. And Camping, thank you very much for using your Prime sub on the stream. Appreciate the support, thank you very much. And Skirms will take out the archer. Orville's going to the middle, Knight killing skirmishers in the middle. And TC, well, that workshop will at least be stopped by a TC location. You're not going to get the workshop you wanted. Needs to pay attention to that too. But huge score lead from winning both of the lakes. And I don't understand this approach from Sebastian of demo versus Japanese fishing ships. And then take the other lake. If you're doing that, you need to have perfect scouting to make sure that the enemy doesn't have docks. And you're gonna go for your fish. And now Liereyy with cav archers, Japanese cav archers, will find the TC of Sebastian, kill the villagers. And stop the TC from going up. And this will probably be the GG. Oh, and Duke, thank you for the sub. And Squint Eastward, thank you for gifting a sub. And congrats to Liereyy. Very well played, though, in that Maya Hindustanis matchup for Sebastian. That was an incredibly impressive game from him. Nomad felt pretty competitive too. This game was just Liereyy won. Nothing special for Liereyy. 27 to 2 KD. Huge eco lead even this short into the game. Better castle time. And that's pretty dominant there. So GG. And we have another set coming up. It's supposed to be live now. So we'll see what the settings are. So let me just finish this scoreboard. 2-1 lead for Liereyy. Or 2-1 win. And Sebastian loses his home map of Kawasan. The civs, it's the Japanese winning over the Byzantines. And Sebastian's first civ pick, the Italians, not used. Yeah, the flowers again, yes. Did Hera play yesterday? Yes, he did. I didn't get a chance to stream it, but he did play. Yep. And again, shout out to Mario for hosting the tournament. Yeah, I think he primarily streams on YouTube. I don't know much about him because it's in Spanish, but he is hosting this tournament right now. And we're going to have a matchup between MBL and Yo coming up soon. Let me check the Discord. Don't see any details there, but that will be the next match. So thank you all for tuning in. Why so many bans? 8 map bans and 10 civ bans. Because the 8 map bans are just a way of picking the remaining map. To play all 3, and they needed ways to eliminate maps to get to the first one. Lots of civ bans, though. I guess they don't have any random bans, so the civ bans there maybe make up for that a bit. Double Khitan's ban. Let me update the title on the scoreboard. MBL versus Yo. Do the classic waiting for drafts. Transition. So Yo was the invited player. MBL did have to qualify. And don't see any updates on the server about the next set of games, but I'll just take a look and see. Maybe I can find the drafts myself. Time for a fresh air and to hydrate. It's very warm today. It's in the mid-90s. I'm staying in the wonderful air conditioning that I have. It doesn't look like they have drafted yet, so we might get to see the drafts live. I will, though, definitely hydrate. I need to update my YouTube title, too. MBL versus Yo. Maybe versus Yo is going to be great. Hope it is, yeah. So I think just like yesterday, I think I'll just cast the first 2 sets. I'm still recovering from cartographers. But we have such wonderful viewership numbers, I can't just cast one. What is the prize? $10,000 for this tournament. I believe $2,500 for first place. Okay, I have successfully received the email. That I need for my payment processing for cartographers. Both anti-meta players, goats. I don't know about the term goat. Goat is a term I think I'd reserve for doubt. Yeah, it was definitely up there in the list of all-time great AoE2 players. Looks like Harry is back to playing 1v1s too. Thanks for cartographers. You think that there are so few team games tournaments for pro scene because of the profitability or too strong teams? By stats, more people play team game than 1v1, so shouldn't that attract more fans? I think it's just one, it's more work for people to organize. And we had a lot more team game tournaments in the back. I mean in the past. But I think there's also the point of you need larger prize pools to make them worthwhile. Is even oh, I never actually hit enter when I posted that I was going live. I meant to make a post in my Discord that I was live. Well, I guess y'all found the stream anyway. It's because I got distracted because I needed to update the thumbnail on YouTube. There you go. I think TV2 can be super fun when the maps prevent the Scout Archer versus Archer Scout meta again and again. Cartographers did a great job of that. Yes, that is exactly what I tried to do with the map pool. That we had a couple of Scout Archer maps, but none of them were as like or as hard Scout Archer as we see on like the deer pushing Arabia that we had for a while. I think Outcrop, Spiral, Golden Lakes, and Chicken Arabia all provided pretty nice variations to the standard Scout Archer 2v2. And most other maps were not Scout Archer, which made it pretty refreshing. I think we had a really good map pool. The only question is, do we need further adjustments to slinging were we to do it again? I think probably yes. Maybe the answer is just I need to increase the feudal tax more. Any other handbooks for us to read? No other handbooks right now. Actually, now that you say that, I have a meeting about a handbook. Nilly is doing the unified handbook meeting soon. So I will have a handbook to read. All right, we have a map draft. Chat, we have a draft. We officially have a draft. Transition. Boom. Do I have the players on the correct sides? That's the question. Yo on the left, MBL on the right. I do. I'll have Arabia again as game number 1. Land Madness for Yo, and 4 Lakes for MBL. And this set, unlike the previous one, will be live. And here's our Civ draft. So just continuing with the Civ draft now. Huns and Georgians for MBL. Mongols, Magyars, Japanese for Yo. And outside it is a warm 93 degrees today. This isn't the only platform streaming this for all the Jimmies. And does Yo have a Twitch? Well, Yo is in China, and I don't think he would stream on Twitch, but he does have a stream. I don't actually know the link to his stream, but I would imagine Yo is streaming his point of view. This is Mario's tournament, so I think Mario should be streaming this on his YouTube channel right now. I'm also streaming this on Twitch, and I think Memb and Ornlu are as well. Yeah, if you go to the spec dashboard, and you can probably see the link to Yo's stream. But yeah, Yo does not have a Twitch. I almost accidentally spectated Hera. So draft is done. Goths for MBL. What? Where's he going to use Koreans? Why would he pick Koreans in this map pool? What is MBL up to? Like, okay, Huns for Four Lakes, Georgians for Land Madness or Arabia, but then Goths are Koreans? Yo's kind of simple. Japanese Four Lakes, Magyars Land Madness, Mongols Arabia. Unless he wants Mongols for Land Madness? Or Saracens somewhere? What are these Civ drafts? He's played Crazy Koreans on Four Lakes. Well, Four Lakes, you make fires. And not having demos, and now having bad turtles should be awful for Koreans. I imagine the LY LAN, if as long as it's open streaming, will be able to be covered by all the streamers. Yeah, he's gonna make lots and lots of towers. Goths maybe just his last pick for intimidation. Make Yo scared. Make him think. Yeah, Yo streams on I don't know how to pronounce it. Douyin. Oh yeah, he streams there. I think Vivi does too. I've never actually seen Vivi stream. That sounds like it would be amazing. I like to call it "do you." I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but maybe it is. I honestly don't know. Just starting to get into this scene. Have always tried to find his stream. Seems like an awesome dude. Okay, I see Yo online. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, he is streaming his matches, and he is in the lobby now. So if you want to see Yo's point of view, he is streaming it. I don't see MBL streaming. Link. I will grab the link to Yo's stream if you want to see it. Paste it in the Twitch chat. Hopefully that works. I'm just copying and pasting it. Paste it to the YouTube chat too if you want to check out Yo's stream. The result was 2-1 Liereyy. Liereyy winning the last match. The translation is absurd. Play some music? What do you mean play some music? Should be background music from like the game soundtracks. Ray was telling me that he felt like the music loops too much, so I'll need to add some more music to it. Wait times to get games started is always so long. It is. We'll need to find something to maybe to do during the loading screen. ACCM did beat Hera. Actually, I did briefly watch those games, and I might want to go cast Game 3 because that was a crazy game of African clearing. Where Hera walled in ACCM. They had their TCs right next to each other. But ACCM still managed to win. No background music whatsoever is playing. That is weird. Oh, thank you for letting me know. I think I actually need to restart OBS to get it to work, though. Oh, thank you for letting me know. That was unintentional. It was because I had changed my audio device, and now I need to change it back. I don't know if I can force OBS to restart. It's good when chat tells me that stuff is broken, because then I know it's broken. There was one time a couple years ago. I can't turn OBS off and on again because that would restart the stream and all the viewers would die, or not die, but the viewer count would drop. Yeah, I do enjoy playing words on stream. We could create our own game, like AW2 quizzes. Yeah, there's stuff we can do. Okay, so MBL is in the cyan, Yo is in the blue. Can we see cyan versus blue? Are those colors that we can see properly? My face cam is broken. I'm not using the face cam right now. How about cyan versus not cyan white, cyan red. Cyan red. We'll go with this. Viewers die when the stream goes offline. Oh gosh. Liereyy won his set 2-1. So the map is Arabia, and Koreans are played by MBL on Arabia against Yo, who's playing his very first picked Mongols. Now, I did not understand MBL's draft at all, but maybe he is anticipating Mongols on Arabia and attempting to go Koreans to counter them. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that war wagons do not actually have the siege armor class, so Mangudai do not get an attack bonus against them, and war wagons actually are a pretty good counter to Mangudai in a variety of situations. And hello, Maple Leaf Lancer. Cyan, so I know Cyan's my favorite color in AoE 2, so if people pick Cyan, I want to leave it there. Back in the days of Voobly and the user patch, there actually was a tool that you could use to customize which colors were used for team colors. So I actually played every single 1v1 on team colors, Cyan versus Red. And I picked Cyan because you could see it more easily on the water maps. So yeah, what's going through MBL's mind? He is cooking something. And I have to think he anticipated that Yo would go Mongols here, and Koreans are a counterpick in some ways. Also, it is Chicken Arabia, the chicken version of Arabia. So we will have chickens out here. It looks like it will be 6 chickens per player. Or no, 7 chickens. 7 chickens. So boar is being lured in. Lured in by MBL. And, ooh, 2 vills on wood for Yo. On separate sides of the lumber camp. And, Sizu, thank you for the follow. Even if he loses, not bad to throw away Koreans versus a top-tier Arabia save and save better saves for other maps. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's only a play all 3. And with the draft, I think you have 4 picks, and I think it's kind of a risk to go Koreans here. Anyone doing Phosphoro chicken splits? I have not seen anyone else doing that. Unfortunately. Doing the funnel. But I would love to see it. And I'm so glad I got a really nice game of that for my YouTube. That was one heck of a strategy. Yeah, so get your chicken emotes in the chat. It's the Chicken Arabia. Bok bok bok. I did like the chicken version of Arabia that we used for cartographers. I think that using chickens consistently instead of deer worked fabulously for the 2v2. We saw a couple men-at-arms rushes, and as much as it was mostly scout and archer, we saw some differences in the archer builds, how you couldn't do the blacksmith and fletching right away. You don't see no funnels? I don't see funnels either. I would enjoy the funnels, though. Yeah, I need to figure out if I can get my emotes for the YouTube chat and use my same Twitch emotes on YouTube. I upload them all to my Discord server, but I don't know if YouTube works with them. I'll need to investigate. There's still so much about YouTube streaming I'm not used to. I like the thumbnails. I'm trying to get a different thumbnail for every stream so I don't just reuse them. I think that probably makes it a bit easier to locate the VODs too if they each have a separate thumbnail and it's not just you're looking at a title and trying to step through the VODs. So fast up for MBL there, 18 pop, no loom. He is adding in the stable right away, and he's not even doing a spear. Mongols, of course, have the extra line of sight on their scout, so he can see what MBL is doing. MBL walling up, going for a very compact wall around his berries to stay safe from the fast scouts. And he will have a back wood line, though. That's a bit risky. And for Kapow, thank you for the follow. As the scout from Yo runs around. So archery range goes forward. And walling up. What's the funnel? Yeah, the funnel is basically you build a wall and you push the chickens so they try to walk from one side of the wall to the other, and then you wall all the way to the TC. That chicken's getting stuck. That chicken was doing a chicken dance for a while. And then the chickens attempt to walk around the wall, and they go all the way to right under the TC, because that's where the wall goes, and then you shoot and kill and eat them. So, Scout Rush from Yo. We'll see if he can do much damage with it. Getting a good number of scouts. There's Spears and Skirms from MBL. No surprise to see MBL going Skirms. Of course, they'll have that free armor, and the Koreans would discount. And the scouts are going to try to pick off a spear right away. And he'll get a couple of pokes there. I think that's walled to the gold. Get your MBL Skirm and Spear emotes. These will come out and push the scouts away. Scouts will keep running around, try to find something, but good spear defense from MBL. MBL has a scout forward now, and when Yo went for his own skirm transition, MBL will find that with his scout and try to pick off the skirms as best he can. Nice micro from Yo, actually. Get a lot of HP off the scout. And he might lose a couple of skirms, but I think that's actually worth it if you're going to kill the scout. And Yo brings his scouts back. And now skirms for Yo, those will help to deal with any of those pesky spearmen that MBL had been adding in. Who's the favorite in this matchup? Technically Yo, because he was invited to the event. MBL had to qualify. I'd probably say Yo's the better 1v1 player. In my own opinion. So fletching on the way for MBL. Yo, streaming without delay, you see the future. Well, no spoilers. We'd appreciate not having spoilers. Yeah, that's actually something. It was a requirement from World's Edge, and I guess from Nilly, that there is the 2-minute spec delay on the tournament. But I actually kind of would like if we didn't have any spec delay at all, and then players could just stream their POV without a delay, and everything were just not delayed. I think that'd be a much better experience for players. Then, like, at the end of the set, they could interact with their chat without needing to restart the stream. Under 400 ELO Xbox player? I've played the Xbox version with the controller. That is, that is one heck of an experience. So MBL full walling, defending with skirms, very MBL style gameplay here. Look at this woodline, goes all the way to the edge of the map. Absolutely huge woodline, so he'll get those palisades up, then he'll be safe. And Yo just had stopped the scout production. Not getting much damage, but he will be up to the castle age behind the scouts. Had a very smooth farming transition, but did it without horse collar, so have to keep an eye on his wood consumption, as he'll be up to the castle age, and soon his farms will start running out. 59 food, 44 food, 33 food, and he's going to have to start replanting the farm soon. I never played the original Flip Phone mobile version. Yo asked MBL if they can stream without delay, and he agreed. Yeah, I mean, it's something I actually would prefer not to do, and we only had that role for cartographers because it was a World's Edge requirement. So there's Scalebarding Armor, Bloodlines, and Castle Age on the way. Classic MBL game, Mass Skirms into Mangonel Micro. Well, sorry to break it to you, Maple Leaf Lancer, but it's going to turn into Mass Skirms into Rocket Cart Micro, because MBL is playing as the Koreans. Now he's up, but almost 90 seconds slower than Yo is. Scouts and Skirms will start taking a fight against each other. Skirms from Yo will try to be picking off the spears of MBL. MBL will dodge those javelins as best he can. Now, Skirm numbers from Yo dwindling a bit. That Crocodile will be involved in the fight. And ooh, hungry for spear, but gets slaughtered there. Second TC for Yo, and will be on stone, so if he's thinking of booming and going Mangudai, we could have that War Wagon versus Mangudai situation. So fighting the spears with a couple of knights, but good army numbers for MBL. Even doing armor on the infantry. Wants to maybe think about going pikeman, skirm, arch, crossbow? And then keep the spears alive longer? Couple of TCs going up in the back. Oh, Fire Lancers, you're right, Fire Lancers. We learned they countered... Oh. We learned they countered Huskarls the other day. What else will they counter? They should counter Knights. That's right, the Koreans now have Fire Lancers. Fire Lancers really counter Huskarl? Doubt and Hera won a tournament by countering Huskarls with Fire Lancers. And that was a player slung into Huskarls, so I'm going to say yes. And they don't even cost food. Love the Chinese translation. Well, I hate to break it to you, but that is not Chinese, that is German. So, Monastery for Yo, defending. So, 2 TC Boom versus 3 TC Boom. Let's see if MBL can turn this into an eco lead. Res collected still very close. Scorpion for Yo. I'm not used to this new monastery either. It's monastery. Doesn't have the shape of a monastery. You like it? I mean, I kind of like it as its own building. It doesn't jump out to me as this is a monastery. Maybe I just gotta get used to it though. Fire Lancer attack a unit in a building is in the path. Does the building get hit instead? I don't think so. I think that's only for like fire ships with 0% accuracy, where that would happen consistently. So what is the accuracy though? They have 100 accuracy, but that might just be because it's a melee unit. So MBL microing the crossbows takes out 2 scorpions. Yo trying to get a mangonel shot, but can't quite get one to land. So 3 TCs for both players. Slightville lead for Yo, but he says it's actually equal because of wheelbarrow. That's a Zong shrine, referencing the Zong map. So monk coming forward for MBL. He'll be trying to heal up some of these crossbows. And a guard tower will go up on the stone. Or no, it'll go up even farther in front of the stone. Between the stone and the gold. Well, the hill with the relic protects the only access to MBL's town. And he's just gonna hide out in the woods up here. And is that... That Fire Lancer is stuck in a walking animation. You see, this one, he's moving a bit. He's in his idle animation. This Fire Lancer is asking Nilly for pathfinding help. And Hilden here in 11, thank you for the follow. This guy is properly in his idle animation. Oh, crossbows. Oh, wow. I'm looking at that. I'm missing the fact that MBL took out 2 mangonels with crossbows. And he also killed the skirm. And okay, well, that is good for MBL. That monk will bring the relic away. But now there's a tower and a town center on that hill. So big flat hill, town center in the middle of nowhere. We play that now that we don't have replay. Replay's the Capture Age Pro feature, unfortunately. And well, one more mangonel. We'll see MBL repeat his feat of MBL micro against perhaps this mangonel. He wants to push in. He will have a hill. I got used to regional monks yet? I have not. And that's a weird thing to say, because I was used to the regional monks back in War of the Kingdoms. I think some of the graphics they made just don't look like monks. Like the East Asian monk, I think very clearly is a monk. Some of the other units, I'm can get confused. So a couple of crossbows go down to the mangonels. Fire Lancers, they're supposed to be anti-cav. So they are supposed to counter the knights. Don't have the numbers for that though. And crossbows for MBL getting back. And MBL opening up a bit of a lead now that he has a 4th TC. 4th TC and taking the hill. Taking relics too. 2 relics already claimed. And oh, that army that was up there finally came back, and looks like the Knights from Yo picked it off. But castle for MBL at the front, defending his gold. Thumbring ballistics on the way. And Monk's going to be healing up the crossbows. Ballistics on the way for Yo. Feels like the castle and TC positions should be swapped. It is, I guess, weird to see TCs on tops of hills, because for a while DE had such small and bumpy hills that you couldn't fit TCs up there. You probably do want it closer to the gold though, which might be nice, but now just mining camps will at least be there. Oh, the Ville's gonna go for stone. Now, ballistics armor for Yo. Will we see war wagons from MBL? Will we see Korean war wagons? He's up to imp. Up to the Imperial Age. And there we go. So Yo, yeah, Yo just playing Knight Skirm, very standard. We're trying to get a castle up on another large hill. So neutral gold in the middle and down here, that'll be important to control. This middle of the map castle does help for map control. So Gambesons, Squires, does Gambesons apply to Fire Lancers? Oh, wait, will they get extra Pierce armor because of that? Yes, it does. Wait, oh wait, yes. Both Chainmail and Gambesons came in at the same time, so it's +1/+1 for a total of +3. Okay, okay, I didn't know that, but these guys can get more pierce armor from Gambesons. So Knights from Yo checking MBL's gold. MBL will just make a couple towers to start moving out there. Think about taking that. Now, if there's one thing MBL is no stranger to, it's doing lots and lots of towers. So Imp on the way from Yo too, but MBL much, much faster. War wagons and fire lancers going for the scrums in the middle. Crossbows coming over too. Crossbows taking out skirms. And there's arson on the way. Does arson benefit fire lancers? Well, they now do more attack against buildings. They have +3 against buildings. No, this unit counters everything. Seems like you might have to fight Fire Lancer with a Fire Lancer. Monk goes down. Chemistry Bracer for MBL. Chemistry on the way, Bracer done. Lots of elite skirms for Yo, trying to take a fight against the crossbows and against the war wagon. Crossbows picking off knights. Mangadai are out. Now Yo's getting to Mangadai. He's up to Imp. It's chemistry from MVL. Bracer chemistry for Yo. And tanky crossbows indeed. Feels like MVL's still slightly winning the fight. Slightly more res collected too. The Fire Lancers, are these guys weak to skirms at all? Probably not. Once a conversion on the Fire Lancer, crossbows go forward. He's trying to dance away. Mangadai come down and we'll pick off the Fire Lancers. Skirms go down. I'll have chemistry light cab on the way for Yo. Their base pierce armor is low, I guess, but with Gambesons, that changes things. That's a lot of trebs. So MBL not trickle trebbing. He's sending all 5 trebs forward at once. But sending them into Mangadai. Any number of Mangadai suddenly protect your trebs. Attempted repairs and 1 HP will just hang on. 1 treb will just hang on there. And Hello Yellow, thank you for the follow. Skirm going down. And Treb will go for the TC. Feels like MBL's doing this. As with the Korean skirms, feels like he is the answer to the Mongol Mangadai. And he's trying to get more map control with towers. Will this tower go up? That will not. Ville's going down. Mangadai too smooth. Fire Lancers, are these guys accounted to Mangadai? Okay, Mangadai too good. Yeah, with Mongols is almost unbeatable. Well, MBL's trying to show how to beat him here. And that Korean seemed to be a good counter pick. The way MBL's played them. Fully upgraded, they do well versus Skirm even. Well, and we have just about 800 people watching. Oh, wow, the viewer numbers have just exploded. So cannon coming forward with the trebs now. That'll try to hit the other trebs. 2 cannons actually, and you get a nice attack ground right between the trebs, and you do damage to both of them. And those trebs go down. Hussars now, fire lancers there should counter them. How good are they compared to siege onagers? That I don't know. Well, we'll need to see them compared to siege onagers someday. Probably some Rage Forest players might have better insight into that. There's Elite Fire Lancer. Why is he not using the siege? He does not have the eco for it. Does not have the eco to upgrade the siege. And no one of consequence, thank you for using your Prime sub. Appreciate the support. We're closing in on 400 sub points too. And you're at 377. That'd be an amazing mark to hit for June. So MBL will take out the monastery. There are 3 relics in there, and then siege engineers will be more attack versus buildings and more range for the trebs. And already he's in a position from which to besiege Yo's castle in the center of his base. Yo's still holding on. Yo's still on 132 vills. This is feeling like MBL has this now. Starting to feel more and more GG for Yo. So Fire Lancer defend the Trebs. Treb's gonna go for the next castle. One more castle left for Yo. Yes, he did. He did indeed kick Gambesons. Does have that researched. That's all the upgrades for the Fire Lancers. And this castle will go down. TC will follow it. And there'll be no more Mangudai. The last of the Mangudai here for Yo. Well, he's trying to do another castle to the north. But there's the GG, and MBL does it, taking game number 1. 172 kills, and the Koreans pick. I was skeptical about it at first, but he makes it work. GG. Okay, draft scoreboard. One-0 for MBL. Pulling off a win on Arabia. That was Koreans over the Mongols. And we'll wait for them to get a draft started again. Or to get a lobby started again. It's like Yo was only ahead. Okay, they didn't have a spec delay then. And the 5 to 10 seconds might just be the YouTube normal latency, so I can do the 4K. All right, and well, we have crossed 800 combined viewers, so hope you all are enjoying this. And again, big shout out to Mario for putting it together. The next map shall be Land Madness. So many streams. Well, that's because people have been watching them. And here we go. I think I'll keep the colors in capture age again. And yes. No, that's not. Colors are here. There we are. Alright, Land Madness. This is DE's default Land Madness. None of that rock terrain on the outside that I like to add. I think that actually makes the map more fun when you fully can't wall. But we shall have MBL as the Goths. This is where he has masterpieced the Goths for Land Madness against Yo's Saracens. So what are these Civs picks? I don't know. Saracens can be seen here. They have some market shenanigans and magic they can do, but they're a camel civ. Usually they counter cav civs. MBL, as the Goths, is an infantry civ, or a cav archer civ. And then it has to be, I guess, Georgians for the final game? Georgians Huns? I don't know. MBL is just drafting on another level. And to be fair, that Korean's master plan worked out well for him in game number 1. So decent backwood line for Yo. Problem is he only has 1 gold with which to work on his map. Another one back here. Tricky to get to that. Here MBL. Oh, MBL, look at all those golds. He's got 3 golds to work with. And just very forward stone. Doesn't have great stone access. Beck's getting pushed into the TC. And for men-at-arms skirms. Ooh, honestly, men-at-arms from the Goths could be interesting. I don't know what civ to favor in this matchup. Wall into a corner? I mean, he could wall 1/4 of the map off. That'd be a big area to wall. Oh, and also earlier, thank you, John Wood, for the follow. Oh, we're climbing through the followers so far. We're at 13,192. We're certainly growing. I think we've almost doubled what we were last year. I think last June we started around like 17,000. Maybe 17.5k, because I gotten a lot of followers during Nations Cup before that, but that was a huge, we've had a huge spike of growth the past year. Actually, Goth Halb spam probably counters Mamluks. I mean, Mamluks probably, they need to be microed, right? They need numbers in micro, and then they're okay. Man, maybe you outrun them. Can we double again in the next 12 months? That would be something else. Bululu is the new religion. I mean, that would be, basically 1k a month for the next 12 months. We need a lot of consistency for that. Maybe we could. Another Nations Cup? Well, there's a whole team behind Nations Cup. Nations Cup is probably the biggest endeavor there is. Mamluks counter infantry too. Aside from Teutonic Knights with all their melee armor, those are the hard counter to Mamluks. So MBL will be going forward with the 2 militia. There'll be a 2 militia drush. Pushing more zebras. Pushing more... Wait, was that a zebra or deer? Pushing more deer. Oh gosh, I always call other animals deer, Now I'm starting to call deer by other animal names. So where is MBL going? Has he scouted this? Oh gosh, he hasn't even scouted Yo. He's just sending his militia out into the darkness hoping to find Yo, and he doesn't know where he is. He's pushing deer. Oh no, MBL. He just missed him. Total disaster. Total disaster there, as there's the barracks, and MBL even runs into a tiger. And now he realizes his mistake, and he's gonna turn around. But oh boy, imagine these militia hit 1 minute earlier. Well, he is up. Up on 24 vills. Still looking for him, still hasn't found him. Is this Drush FC? I think you need more vills than 24 to Drush FC if you add in a third militia. Maybe he's just keeping flexibility open in case the Saracens player tried some FC market strat. We'll have walls from Yo. Yo shouldn't be taking damage from this. Where's MBL's other militia? He's up to 5 militia now. Oh, guys, MBL just gonna go goth men-at-arms? Yeah, the rest are in the barracks. Maybe Yo's confused about what MBL is doing too, because MBL still hasn't even decided. Well, I mean, maybe he has decided on men-at-arms, he hasn't done anything else in addition. So, market up for Yo as the Saracens, they get that cheap market. I start with Forage Bush under the TC. That is Land Madness. Land Madness is a map puts a Forage Bush under your TC. I don't know why, but they decided to do that. I think it makes up because the map only has 1 boar. Here's the Men-at-Arms upgrade. And you going forward with your Men-at-Arms student, MBL? Let's see, he's going to go up to the range. There's a blacksmith. And skirms, so Man-at-Arms skirms, but the Man-at-Arms are not in the eco of Yo yet. Also 1 fewer in your berry patch? Oh, yeah, okay. I remember that now. Not even MBL knows what he does on a map that's not Arabia. Map needs mobility. Well, if maybe Goth's spam gives them, in some sense, mobility. If they're spread out with barracks all over the place, then they can get army wherever they need it. Like your constant churning through of troops means that you can kind of get your army at your production buildings rather quickly as you're losing and recreating units. If your map needs skirm, have tower already. Tower on the wood line already for MBL. So farms for Yo. See, he's already sold stone and bought food and wood, but kind of expect that from Saracens. And he'll get off the gold from the front. Has he scattered the gold in the right? He has. He knows he has another option there. And more men-at-arms coming forward, but not doing anything. I feel like MBL is just adding an army and not being able to use it right now. The mobility of the scouts just so much more flexible for Yo now that he has the archers behind them. Feel walled. Remember, he won't have stone walls. He is the Goths. So walled on a tower, and he feels safe. The front gold still hit. I guess the downside for Yo is he has no gold. Well, he found some gold. Trying to do that clandestine economy up in the corner. Those villas were thinking of that gold maybe, but MBL aware of that more than the other golds. Didn't actually scout that there was a gold there. MBL scouting. Betraying him as he just didn't see that gold mine. Now skirm men-at-arms. House wall from Yo. And men-at-arms attacking the palisade. Archers come back for Yo. Maybe Yo can clear this. What type of fight is this? The men-at-arms on the scouts, everything going down, everything from MBL dying, Yo closing the skirm distance, and now Yo is safe at home. MBL not doing damage, but eco count, very similar. And hello, treadmill. Very similar ecos. Has collected a head for MBL. I guess the hunt for the Goths matters there. He'll be going double stable, so double stable knights is an option for the Goths. Maybe less so, though, against Saracen camels. BL up first. Good set. Oh, this is game number 2. The first game, I think, was a very interesting Koreans counterpick to Mongols. If you like interesting AoE 2, I think that's a good one. Scouts coming into the houses. Their archers coming forward. What do Goths even do against Mamluks? Hand cannoneers, maybe? That's probably their option. But yeah, I think if Yo gets to Mamluks, then it's going to be really hard for MBL to win this game. He's ambitious, but he's up to the castle age. And well, this army will just keep pushing these archers back as Yo is on his way up. 2 more castles up for production. The hard thing is also getting your stone on Land Madness, because players are not guaranteed a stone. But Yo moving out to the stone, and you might be thinking, maybe he is thinking of the Mamluks. You know what's going on inside of Yo's mind. Thank you, AngerJ, for the follow. MBL queues on average 134 villagers per game on Land Madness. Well, that means he survives a long time to get there. Elite Skirm and Bloodlines on the way for MBL. On the other side, we have a pretty big fight. Archers jumping the gold. Spears go down. And all of a sudden the scouts are more effective. And here come knights. Here come knights. So not even camels. Saracen knights. And Yo losing some crossbows, MBL with elite skirm, but now knights are on the elite skirms. Vil goes down, but all in all, I feel like this was not a good fight for MBL. I feel like he lost a bit too much army. Camel there to deal with the light cav. And the camel just has to keep chasing. So, different options now for the Saracens, camels, knights, crossbows, skirms. Goths, I'm not sure what you want to do. We'll have a TC up for Yo. Units in the middle going down.
Belated.
On 33 HP is too much for camels. Camels are strong. Saracen camels. And now what can Yo push? We have 2 TCs for MBL. 2 stables. I mean, it could be tempting for Yo just to go for Forward Workshop here, but instead he's going to opt first for a town center at home. Now he's on 1, 2, 3 TCs compared to MBL's 2. MBL still with more res collected. Husbandry for Yo. Classic Yo's to 3 TC boom and then siege push. It does feel like Yo. Especially the 3 TC boom part. I guess the other playstyle from Yo is YOLO 1 castle unique units. Saracens, you can do both. Oh, there's a monk coming in for Yo. Look at his base. He's just booming away. Knight's trying to get a raid in, but it's really hard to raid Saracens. Just a couple camels clean that up. And stone. Yo so far used the stone. He sold his initial stone to go up. Has mined more stone for TCs. So he doesn't yet have the stone. Think about Mamluks. University. He's not close to going up, though. I don't know what the university's for, then. Keep an eye on his text chat. Let me know if he ever does something at the university in case I miss it. That's true. Saracen's always close to going up. Always close to having a castle. And Lee Skirm still defending at home. Ballistics on the way for MBL. This is a very, very defensive game of Land Madness. I mean, with these houses, MBL is trying to play as a wall as the Goths. These skirms might fend the crossbows off. Second armor on the way for Yo. I'll need that to fight skirms. Feels like Yo's going to go for a sick forward castle if this continues this way. Well, if he has the map control, he can. Certainly can. So third TC for MBL being added in. MBL still at the res collected advantage. Here's forging on the way from Yo. Can you feel castle on the hill? I'm sure you could, yes. That looks very castleable. For either player, either aggressively from Yo or defensively from MBL. Camel will pick off a scout. Skirms taking out crossbows. Knights and camels come forward. Are we in the... finally gonna get a fight? No, the monks will force this fight back. This is a big fight brewing here soon as the knights will run to the wood line. Yo didn't quite run in time. He will take some losses. Hill's going down. And another farm going up for Yo. Skirms pick off a crossbow. Knights and camels keep running around along with the crossbows. MBL buying stone. And MBL buying stone. Handcart on the way. He wanted it for another TC on his stone. Tempted to think MBL would want a forward castle, but Yo's going to do his castle now very defensively. That monk will walk around the wrong side of the castle. Relic is dropped and he tried to run. Yeah, we'll have to remember the relic is behind the castle as he is taking a fight. Camels and knights against skirms and knights. And is Yo winning this? I think Yo is winning this. And he's getting up a defensive castle. And knights will finish taking out the crossbows. And crossbow coming forward, skirm, everything here dying. Yo taking yet another good fight. MBL doesn't like to resign early, but he is now losing all the fights. As collected still equal, army, or villager count still equal. All the skirms will go down. No question about that. There is nothing left for them to do, but... let you go down. So, now, the question is, how do you follow this up? For Yo, you've now cleared army. You have a pretty good map control lead. Do you go for that forward castle? Do you click Imp, then go for the forward castle, force a Trebor? You can do a lot of damage that way, but you also lose the castle. The other option is castles at home. And just more Mamluks, as the Mamluk production is commencing. Could use a bit more stone. He is floating a lot of wood. He's the Saracens, he can afford to float wood. And that's handcart, it's not Imp yet. And Mamluk's coming forward. These vills are forward on that stone. MBL justifying even more knights with no upgrades. He's Goss. He's probably justifying that he doesn't need to upgrade them. So he'll swap to something else later. Yeah, Yo does love his unique units. Knights and Mamluks taking out the house. House goes down. Imperial Age on the way. Imperial Age on the way for both. MBL with a slight eco lead. But now he has to deal with the Mamluks. I'm not quite sure how. He wants a defensive castle. Huskarls should die to Mamluks, though. At least I think they would. Okay, there's a castle from Yo. The fort castle, and it will be a Treb fight as soon as he gets up. Both of these players can do chemistry for bombard cannons. Mamluks themselves will be very effective at picking off Trebs. Now remember, there was a change. In AOC, skirmishers got an attack bonus against Mamluks. That is no longer the case. That attack bonus has been removed now in DE. Mamluks coming over, camels and knights coming over. Goth Castle? There's Imp, and now Castle will be a trebuchet factory. Mamluks looking to break in, still killing the vills. AOK hand cannons and janissaries had attack bonus against Mamluks. Hand cannons and janissaries, really? I guess they probably don't anymore. So another castle from Yo. Delete Mamluk in the front castle, not trebuchets. Where are the trebuchets? Perfusion for MBL. I guess perfusions are risky. What are the elite Mamluks going to look like? Trebuchets are risky against the Goths who could just run under and snipe them off. Okay, that guy is a little changed, but he still looks like a Mamluk at least. Going down to Castle Fire. Halb on the way. And well, someone said this very early on, that you need to spam enough Halbs as the Goths to counter Mamluks. 60 Halbs with constant production. Well, if he gets that, then maybe he can push. But this is what Mamluks would do to Halbs. They'll just micro back, take them out. Yep, barracks all over the place, but Mamluks all over too. Hello, mass puddles. Equivalent use of Redemption Monk. Remember, Redemption is expensive. It's that in itself is 175 wood for the monastery, 100 wood for the monk, and then 475 gold. Mamluk's going to find the outpost and come in. And thank you, Pegrick69 for the follow. Give them flaming scimitars when chemistry is in. Oh, that would be lovely. So castle from Yo, maybe a doubt castle if MBL can see it. I'll have a barracks down there. More Mamluks, and it's about using Mamluks to avoid the Halbs. And Trebs finally popping out for MBL. 2 Trebs, and he'll look to dislodge this forward castle. Now. 121 to 65 KD. Halb spam down here is real as the Goths. You really only need 1 barracks to spam. 1 barracks in the entire area is spammed. There's Anarchy R as well for Huskarls from the barracks. Cannons in the back. Halb's trying to pick off the cannons. But this castle from Yo, now just his main staging area for this attack. This castle to the south still hasn't been finished. Mamluk's going to clean up a couple of raids and villagers in the base. Don't let that barracks go up. And, well, that is one heck of a barracks from MBL. I have to say, that is a good Huskarl barracks for raiding. At the front, Halb's getting massacred by the Mamluks. At the same time, there's so many Halbs. Repairs on the Trebs too. The cannons will try to take them out. And 230 to 84 KD. Mamluk's gonna take out Halbs. His Treb's still working on the castle, but great job repairing from Yo to keep it alive all this time. And now it's Yo's turn to snipe off Trebs with cannons. So the Halbs just get mowed down. Oh, trickling the Halbs in. Alright, Mamluk's OP, Treb goes down. I have a feeling that MBL isn't going to win this game. Yeah, that's right, you need a lot of food eco to sustain military as the Goths. If food eco gets hit and things can collapse. Right, Cliffy, call in the GG. Very early GG call. Let him make his Trebs do a Treb fight. What is it that T90 calls MBL? The cockroach of AOC because he keeps holding on. That's a lot of Halbs running to the Mamluks. Mamluks need to get back. And those Halbs. Oh, those Halbs. I think I'm buying food. For a second I thought that was him saying GG. Well, we're almost in ACCM territory. Not quite, but almost. Halb on that gold. More Mamluk clearing of Mark it there. Oh, we do have a castle from MBL now. 3 trebs inside. Oh, deer and halberdier. Halbs. Halbs just go down. That's a lot of halbs. Looks like they're just gonna thin down the halb numbers. As long as they have the hill there, okay, yeah. So here Maramluke's going to get another jump, and there's a GG as Yo ties it up 1-1, and we will indeed have a deciding game number 3. 433 kills to 119. And GG. So one more game. This one to decide it. And this will be 1-1. And we'll be on 4 lakes. So the Goths pick not working out for MBL. And Zark, thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. We're casting the Medieval Masters hosted by Mario. Let's go check out his YouTube. That should be linked in the title. Both on Twitch and on YouTube. Alright. And looking for this lobby. Oh, they're in... Wait. The dashboard says they're in the game on Land Madness. I'm going to wait a moment and hope that that is not accurate. Or at least still on a scoreboard. Good. Thank you, Jojo, for the follow, and Brahma for the follow. Alright, they're going to take a minute in the lobby. I will be right back. Alright, now they're in the lobby. Now they have 4 lakes up. So Japanese Huns here? Full tech tree? I've never tried that. I actually don't know. Yep, and they are launching. Right, let me chew my protein bar. There we go. And we have here MBL will be the Huns and Yo the Japanese. So Huns Japanese. Cav Archer mirror. On this map, I feel like the Japanese just are better, but I mean, Yo himself likes the Huns. So, don't know what MBL has planned. Thanks for streaming on YouTube. Much better experience. I'm glad you like the YouTube streams. Got the full tech tree, possibly Eagle Warriors into a Rumbai Rush. Do you get Eagle Warriors on full tech tree? I don't know. A lot of unique units are nerfed a bit on the full tech tree. As we were just getting started here, you'll be going for a dock on the water. What is this version of 4 lakes that puts the wood line on the lake? What? Oh my gosh, this is the in-game version of 4 lakes. Oh boy. Hello, ugly. Nice P5 emote you got. Best color. So, yeah, so this map, wood lines on the lakes. As I was saying, you asked about the full tech tree. A lot of unique units then lose their bonuses, like the Mangadai are not as strong because they don't get the faster firing bonus that the Mongols have as a civ. I would need to think about that. Like seeing player 5. I just like seeing player 5 in general. Thanks for the cast. Well, thanks for watching. Twitch has been messy the last few weeks. Nice to be able to watch on YouTube if it loads bad. Yeah, cartographers. Actually, the YouTube people watching on YouTube. Is it admin read? Nope. This is DE's map. This is they're just playing the map. We're 6 minutes in. No more admin reads. It is just a crazy map. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just MBL has to deal with a forward wood line. One of those things I feel like we have to get, or that I miss. How crazy the map spawns could be back in the Voobly days. It's one of those things where you might have a setup where if you're MBL and you're this wide open, back in the days when we had player restarts, you'd have like, in a best of in a player 3, probably 1 restart. In best of 7, usually it'd be 2. But within 4 minutes, you could call your restart and just replay the map. And then hope that your next generation is better. So that was that was the way of dealing with some situations that I get a few complaints about in tournaments these days. Is that players have a bad map and they think it's too bad to play. But admins are like, no, it's a fine map. That would have been the player restart situation. Yeah. I mean, they both have a safe pond. Right? I guess maybe Yo's is a bit easier to wall. But, I mean, MBL's pond is pretty safe here. Also, if you've seen this map in TTL or Hidden Cup or any other number of tournaments, the version we use there has significantly fewer fish in each lake. So this one, probably even a better map for the Japanese than normal because of all of these fish. Just look at this. This is it's not 8 leaping fish. It is 8 plus 8, 16. So double the fish, at least in each of the ponds. And that makes this map kind of crazy strong for the fish boom, as Yo's gonna wall this up. Twice the fish, double the fall. Nearly math. Double the fish and double the number of map complaints I would get. It's nice to go from casting my own tournament to casting someone else's tournament now, because I don't need to be as worried about the maps breaking. I mean, it would be a luxury not to have to spend all the time I spent on maps and just to be able to use the tournament maps. So Yo will be going for Militia into Men-at-Arms play. MBL does not get the wall up in time. The Men-at-Arms get in, and MBL will be going for some more quick walls to defend. Men-at-Arms won't break through there. It will be a stable for MBL, so stable for the Huns. But with the forward Men-at-Arms pressure, I think Yo has exactly what he wants, and that is a fully walled pond where he can do a Japanese fish boom. Wouldn't even be surprised to see a double dock on the pond. Maybe you have room to do that instead of walking out to the other ponds. So it sounds like your wife should play the Attila the Hun campaign. Wonder if we'll see a TPD this game, or even a QPD, a quad pod domination. For cartographers? For cartographers, we had $2,000 for the admin costs that I paid for the trailer and the admins, Petito and Arbase, to do the adminning. Then the prize pool was paid out of both the $15,000 from World's Edge, and then we had a few $100s of donations from community members for it. So the rest of it was me spending my time doing everything. So here are scouts jump out from the stable. They will hit the Men-at-Arms. And the Men-at-Arms will go down. Yeah, for cartographers, I myself did all of the map scripting. And the Men-at-Arms go down. Ducks PD, turn over all your bread. And Ducks having memes that I don't get. Is that just because ducks like bread in a pond? So, Yo forward with archers now. We'll start taking out some scouts. Skirm's out for MBL though. And so far, MBL's done a decent job of defending this, I think. Why is there only one player on each team? A bug? Well, we definitely will do more team game tournaments in the future, I think. Bread is bad to feed to ducks? Really, ducks? What should I feed to ducks then? Ducks was fed some bread at medieval times. Feed them seeds. Okay. Ducks was also fed chicken. He was also fed tomato soup. I dipped the bread in that. So some scouts come over. Oh, ooh, MBL going for the tower, fletching on the way. Res collected, actually MBL ahead so far. But Yo starting to get in on that stone. MBL about to overchop his wood line and get the what's gonna happen when he gets out there? They'll have to wall that somehow. So Castle Age on the way for Yo. Cartographers is great, very entertaining tournament. I'm glad you liked it. I think it was a very good experience for me to get some experience putting the tournament together and kind of streamlining some processes and knowing what I want to do better for next time. And if we do like a year from now, Cartographers 3, I think that's going to be even more amazing. So tower for MBL, defensive tower for Yo. Yo's tower, though, does not range MBL's. MBL's tower covers the gold. And where's the other gold for Yo? Kind of forward, but not under a tower. So not a panic situation from Yo at all. You can just wall up, get to the next stage, do a market. What's the feedback like from players regarding Sling? In the interview, Doubt seemed to think it was balanced. Yo seemed to think that it wasn't when I think Ito had asked him. I'm gonna put out a like a Google form and ask people if they can give some feedback, and maybe I'll get a better response from players about that soon. So Castle Age on the way, scale guarding armor for Yo. Yep, and I hope to cast more of the community tournament too, as we're casting Medieval Masters, more community cartographers. So MBL breaks in before Yo is up, and MBL wants another tower, and Yo didn't finish the stone walls. He wanted to be stonewalled, and it's not much army though, just a few scouts and skirms, but Yo has to get out knights. He has to do knights, and I wonder if MBL has time to do a dock. We already have fish traps being added in. They're along the coast. Scouts can go hit them. Tower near the dock, too. MBL just wants more and more towers. This is very MBL-esque gameplay. And Yo's gonna YOLO some vills towards the tower. Wants to knock this down before the other tower goes up in earnest. And that's a vill that goes down. Galley there might have been able to help deny the tower. And Yo will be doing his own tower. Love the diversity of strats the sling provided. Yep, I know there are definitely mixed opinions on the sling. Some people liked it, some people didn't. And it hasn't been in team game tournaments for a while, I think. So it was nice to have, I think, the diversity. And we'll try to make some adjustments going forward, of course. Spear wants to poke the scouts. Skirm's going to be killed by the knights. And MBL feels like he is repelled now. Still has more res collected than Yo, which is still really surprising considering Yo is the Japanese and has had amazing fishing. And basically cleared almost all of his lake from the fish. No one going for another lake though, just now MBL finally going for a dock. This gold also close to the edge. Towers still shooting each other here. MBL had lost all the vills, it looks like. That doesn't have any more repairs, and that tower eventually will go down. We'll have bloodlines on the way for Yo. And tower fight, you have more HP in the castle age, so Yo's going to win this, no doubt about it. How is MBL so far ahead in pop? Because he's been making army. He has archers. Yo has been going knights, which he doesn't make until he hits castle. And then the knights themselves, of course, are more expensive. So Vil here. Yo just going to dive the Vil. He'll lose knights for that. Archer is protecting the Vil. That'll be a tower up on the gold for MBL. And 3 ranges, archers into crossbows. Yep, and then we'll maybe see cav archers, but I think Japanese just have the better cav archer now. Yeah, more CA versus better CA. Ooh, Vil was lost just before the garrison. It's probably a lag issue. On a different server, maybe MBL saves the Vil. I cast Jordan versus Barles. I think this is my last cast for today. I'm still recovering from cartographers. I'll be casting more of this tournament throughout the week. Maybe we'll just grab a rec here or there and do like a YouTube specific cast. Try to get like some videos going and not just the live streams. Any map bugs inspired new maps? That's a good question. Not that I know of, but maybe I could think of something. The defensive workshop from Yo, MBL pushing forward with crossbows. Both players on 1 TC. Oh, the forward workshop. Not going to go up for MBL. The Vil being caught by a pair of knights. And that is painful when you want to go siege, but now you've lost all of the timing advantage you would have had. Yeah, Jordan's always coming back. The Vils on the wood line have to run. Mangonel coming forward for Yo. Jordan has retired like 5 times. MBL's quit AoE a lot of times too. But it'll always come back. It'll always come back. Palisades will probably be annoying for Vils. But now Mangonel defense from Yo. Yo's still 1 TC. He's trying to go skirmisher. Cav archers from MBL pressuring the forward gold. This is a really interesting game across. MBL is going to probably have to take an eco lead with this pond now. Yo is kind of out of fish and needs to go to fish traps. MBL can access this entire new pond. Even can send a Ville to the north for some triple pond domination. Some good TPD. Manganel gets a nice shot on the crossbows. MBL not microing there. I don't know, I do the next pacifist campaign? At some point. I do have a couple more that I want to do. And Manganel's hitting crossbows. And repairs not in time, but Manganel gets off a parting shot. MBL losing crossbows, and he's pulling up an eco lead in villagers. Also, elite 2k res collected more. Yeah, and soon Yo might have wood issues. Well, he does have quite a few trees left, but a lot of his wood lines are exposed. MBL trying to encircle him in this tiny area of the map. So ballistics and leather archer armor on the way for Yo. And ram push from MBL. MBL pulling ahead in score. Monks want conversions. Knights running at the speed of the rams. MBL thinking of a monastery. Japanese have much better monks than the Huns do. But that'll be for converting knights back. No redemption, but they do have atonement. It could be useful in the monk fight. Could even see some devotion. Yo trying to push back with knights against CA. So it's knight skirm against CA. CA ram. Lots of rams for MBL being added in. This could be a big push. CA need to take out the knights, make sure they can't get to the rams. And ramming speed engaged. And Yo's gonna call the GG. MBL will do it. He'll take a 2-1 lead over Yo. So congratulations to MBL. 57 to 50 KD for Yo. Better eco for MBL. And winning Huns versus Japanese on this extra fish version of Four Lakes. I thought the extra fish would really pay off for the Japanese, but Yo stuck in his base, going for one pond. Never expanded. MBL did. Men-at-Arms did some damage early on, but MBL could adapt to that forward wood. And GG. MBL dominating. So let's just get the scoreboard set up. That's a 2-1 win for MBL. Winning on Four Lakes. And winning with the Huns over the Japanese, his very first picked Huns. So there is another set coming up. And let's see who else is still streaming. Do you think Ornlu's going to cast the next set? Because we can raid Ornlu. Why don't we do that? GG. I'm going to send a raid over to Ornlu. Still, I'll probably be doing longer streams next week, but I'm still recovering a bit from all the cartographer's work. So, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you on YouTube. And again, on YouTube, Mario is casting. Those are in Spanish. So, I don't know if my English audience can go say hi to him, but also check out Mario's channel. He should be tagged in the title and in the description. Thank you all for watching on YouTube. I'll end the YouTube stream first and then say goodbye on Twitch. So thank you everyone. We had 800 plus, almost 900 viewers today. So I will see you all later.